Good afternoon. How are we doing? Is my audio working okay? Looks like it is. You guys will confirm. How are you? My name is Rob the Maritimer. It is Tuesday afternoon, time for the regular weekly live stream. I'm in a slightly different location. I can't remember if I was here last week or if I was there. I'm still in the middle of creating a basically, I call it a mini course or a mini series on live streaming, and I'm not finished yet, so I'm still set up over here on the little desk. Can you guys hear me? 5 out of 5? Does that mean yes? You were there last week. Catherine, how you doing, Catherine? I thought I was. I couldn't remember. It's been a long week. Actually, it seems to have flown by pretty quick. How's everybody doing? Where are you watching from? And who's here? Yeah, so today I got a couple of things to talk about. I've got, I'm here for the Q&A as always. That's the majority of these live streams. Here to answer whatever questions you guys have. And yeah, so let's get right into the chat to find out who is here. Let's see. Oh, put QQQ in front of any questions that you have, because I'm starting to I search for QQQ over in the eCam tab. That way it'll show me just the questions. So if you have a question you want me to answer, put QQQ in front of it, and that'll increase the chances that I'll get to answer your question. It won't guarantee it though. We've been having a lot of people in these live streams, which is amazing. Thank you very much for the support. I love it. It's a lot of fun. But as you know, if you're new here, welcome. I hope you enjoy this. If you're returning, then welcome back. And you probably know what this is all about. So I answer as many questions as I can. But meanwhile, you guys can kind of answer each other and chat amongst yourselves. And it's all part of the whole community building thing. So that's what I love about this, that you guys, not only am I able to hopefully answer your questions, as many as I can, but you guys are meeting each other as well. So I kind of like that. And hopefully you guys do too. So yeah, we got Georgia Fan here. How are you? Good to see you. Who's boycotting YouTube starting tomorrow? I know I will. I won't. YouTube is my work. I don't know what you're referring to there. Maybe I'm missing something in the news or something. Guess what day it is? Escaping the suburbs. How are you? It's live stream day. Moonjaro Journey. How are you? Has a question right off the bat. What do you think about cross-platform videos? I was thinking about putting a clip from on TikTok. Will this hurt YouTube algorithm if they are linked from outside? No. Can't imagine that would hurt. YouTube doesn't take cues from TikTok or Instagram or any other platform when deciding how many impressions to give your videos. It doesn't matter at all. The way I would more think about it is, what audience are you trying to grow? Like, who are you speaking to in your videos? Okay, on YouTube. If you've identified or defined your audience, so in my case, my audience is typically people over 40 who want to get into YouTube and might be having a hard time getting started with it. So that's my general viewer, if you will. So define your viewer, and then you make videos for that viewer or those viewers on YouTube. If you then make videos on TikTok, if they're targeting the same type of viewer, that's great. But you also have to recognize that people who watch videos on TikTok may not be the same as the people who watch YouTube videos. So there's some people say, oh yeah, you should make videos and put them all over all the platforms to increase the chances that you will grow your YouTube channel. That may or may not help, because if you're growing a YouTube channel and you're making, long form videos to try to grow your channel, grow your brand and all this, people who want to watch long form videos on YouTube, let me put it another way. People who watch short form TikToks generally don't want to watch long form videos on YouTube. Okay, so two different things. If you're watching TikTok, so I've watched TikTok videos or Instagram reels, and it's very rare that I will see a reel and then decide, oh, I want to see more of this person who I just watched a 30-second video, I now want to watch 10 minutes of that person. That's rare, right? So usually if you're in the mode of watching short form, you're going to stay there. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind. But that said, it's not a bad idea to kind of, pick one to focus on. So in my case, it's YouTube, long form, and then, sprinkle a few videos here and there to the other platforms just for branding purposes. That's kind of my approach. But no, doing that will not hurt your growth in YouTube. It just might not help it. Greetings from Norway, someone's garden. How are you? Good to see you. Graciela is here. How are you? Escaping the suburbs. Love your name. Yeah. From Melbourne. Awesome. Australia. Catherine is here from New Zealand. How you doing? Georgia fan. New AI age verification crap. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I heard something about this. So I guess YouTube, and somebody asked me if I'm going to, some people seem to be pretty upset about this. I don't quite understand why. It's just YouTube trying to adapt to, I can't really give an opinion on it. I don't really know, but my first inkling of it, or my first, I guess, knowledge of it was somebody in the comments said to me, why aren't you making a video on the new verification process for YouTube? Are you too scared? And I'm like, what do you mean, am I too scared? What is this even about? Why would I be scared to make a video about that? And I don't know if they were thinking like YouTube is not going to want me to make a video on that, or I just didn't get it. So I think it's got to do with YouTube using AI to help verify the age of the people on their platform, because there's restrictions in terms of who, like if you're not 18, you're not supposed to be able to see certain forms of content. It's basically what it comes down to. So it's trying to increase its success at verifying people that way. So anyway, that's really all I know. I don't know anything more than that about it, so I can't really talk too much about it. But I do know, and I have sensed, and I'm sensing from you, Georgia fan, that it's something that a lot of people don't like. So I'll dive a little bit deeper into that, try to find out what that's all about. All right, who else we got? I got another question. Alexander Patrick, how are you? I'm interested in learning more about Camtasia. Are your original videos still up to date with the program? Well, so, the Camtasia videos that I've made that are on my channel, I haven't made a Camtasia video in, over a year. Okay, so in that sense, they're not up to date, but anything I've made a video on in Camtasia would still work now. Like, they don't change their platform that drastically over time. So yeah, I would say those videos would still apply. Those videos would still help you learn how to do those things that I teach in those videos. Okay, but there may be a couple of other newer things that you can do in Camtasia that I have not made a video on. So that's probably the case. And I am actually, as soon as I finish this live streaming series of videos that I'm making, I'm then going to move on to a Camtasia course that I've got the outline done. But I'll tell you, it's not going to be a complete course. So I'm not. Same with this live streaming. My thought process so I want to help you as best as I can. And when I was first thinking about, I need to do a course on all of this, so YouTube, live streaming, Camtasia, editing, all this, I have to include everything, right? And that would be dozens of hours of content. And who wants to watch all that? So that's kind of the realization I've come to. And because I was thinking, like, I need to include everything because people are going to have questions. Maybe I should have the answers ready for them in a video already so they won't have questions. But that doesn't even make a lot of sense because no one's going to sign up for something like that and then sign up to watch 50 hours of content, right? It's just too much. So my point is, my focus is going to be on beginners, getting started. Okay, it's not going to be everything you could possibly do with live streaming or with Camtasia, but only what you need to know to do it well and to do it the way I do it. Okay, so that's kind of my focus. And then if people have questions, if you have questions of how to do something else over and above that, then I'll get into that. I can answer questions on stuff like that. So anyway, I hope that helps, Alexander. Another question from Alexander. What exactly is Canva and where can I learn more about it? Well, there's lots of videos on YouTube on Canva. Canva is an online program. Actually, you can download an app and run it on your computer now, but I still use the browser version. It's basically started out as like an easier way to make images. So it kind of replaces Photoshop in my mind. I found Photoshop too hard to learn, so I started to use Canva. And a lot of people use Canva. The main thing I use it for is thumbnails, to create my thumbnails. I'll drop a screenshot of my video into Canva, into a canvas that I predefined the size, 1280 by 720 for a thumbnail. And then I'll add text to it, and you can do all kinds of things like that to build your images in Canva. But now Canva is moving more towards getting into video editing too, which I have not used it for video editing. I don't think it can do a lot of stuff with video editing, but for simple short videos, it can. But yeah, for me, it's an image editing software. And if I ever want to create an image, that I want to add to my videos, maybe a graphic, maybe a combination of images, whatever, I can prepare that in Canva, download it, and put it into my video editing program. So in my case, Camtasia. So that's what that is. And where can you learn more about it? All over YouTube. There are a million Canva tutorial videos on YouTube. And I have 2 or 3 specifically on making thumbnails with Canva on my channel. All right, let me type in QQQ. Who else we got here? I see all kinds of people. We got 113 people here. That's awesome, guys. Yeah, and I will try to jump back and forth between the questions that were asked a while ago and current questions, so I can kind of keep you guessing as to where I'm going next. All right, so Steve Brocky. How you doing, Steve? Good to see you. Hi, Rob. Autodubbing, good or bad? I'm getting way more impressions, but some really random videos not in my niche recommending my video. Hurtful to CTR. I haven't thought that deeply about auto-dubbing. I think overall it's a good thing because it is getting your videos out to more people who don't speak or listen or can't understand English, right? So yeah, I mean, I've never, even though my background, like the last several years, has been that I would create video, I would add subtitles to other people's videos for them. Not necessarily for YouTube, but like corporations and whatnot. So I'm kind of in the subtitling, translating kind of world for a bit. But now with YouTube doing these things automatically, transcribing your videos, translating them to other languages, even adding robotic sounding voices to them, YouTube's just getting started with this. And they're not perfect, and sometimes the audio sounds a bit strange to me. If like I'm watching a video that was in another language, but it's now auto-dubbed into English with an English AI voice, I don't love the way it sounds right now. But so not my videos, but another one that I watched one earlier, or part of one earlier today. But they're going to continue to get better at that, right? So. Yeah, I'm just letting YouTube do its thing. They're going to auto-dub it, and yes, that'll bring more people into your videos. I think generally it's a good thing, but you're right. It might negatively affect CTR. However, just remember that YouTube knows where people are coming from. They know what language the people are watching your videos in. So even though they're not showing you the data yet, and maybe they will at some point. Maybe they can now, but I just haven't gotten into it. Like your CTR, they could probably figure out what is your CTR based on people watching your videos in English, and what is the CTR based on people who are watching it in whatever else, Spanish, French, whatever, right? So under the hood, behind the scenes, YouTube knows where your CTR is coming from, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. All right. Yes, thank you, Catherine. Put QQQ there, and I will do my best to answer as many questions as I can. Question, what do you do during the countdown, Rob? Mic check, get the comments loaded up. What else? Do you have a pre-live stream checklist? Good question. It varies. Sometimes I run out and go to the bathroom. I will top up my drink. I try to have the camera pointed away from me so during my intro, this is my iPhone. Okay, so I'll just pick it up. It's on Peanut right there. But just to show you, this is what I have my intro tied to, is my iPhone. And I can just, so yeah, this is my setup today. On the side desk, that's my camera, there's my mic, there's the audio interface and the stream deck. Yeah, I've only got one extra monitor today. The other one is still over there. Don't mind the mess on my desk, but it's not hooked up right now. Yeah, so I'm just making sure everything works. I have to make sure that little button is pressed, the 48 volt button on my mic, otherwise you won't hear me, and that's quite often what I forget to do. Today I was making sure these buttons were all working for my different scenes in Ecamm Live, because they were all changed. Let me switch this back here. I had them all changed because of the videos I've been making over the weekend and whatnot. I'm showing how to create scenes and how to set them up on a stream deck. So I was creating new scenes and all that. So my setup is all messed up and I just needed to get that working again. So that's what I was doing, and just writing down some notes, actually writing some notes about the next video I want to make. So yeah, it's different every week. What I do during that time. Thoughts on the new AI age detection crap? Once again, Georgia fan, you are letting us know your thoughts on that. Yeah, I've shared my thoughts already, what limited thoughts they are, because I don't know much about, beyond what I've already said, I don't know much about what that all entails, but I'll try to brush up on that before next week. Carolyn, how you doing? I'm wondering if I unwittingly stole subscribers from the original creators by letting my playlists be public. If someone subscribes through my playlist, who are they subscribing to? Yeah, no, if somebody subscribes, it depends on what channel they're subscribing to, right? So let me try to think about this. So I don't have well, I do have my own playlist set up, but I understand other people, you can set up playlists of other people's videos. So let me see if I can understand this. Your playlists be public. So your playlists of other people, okay? If someone subscribes through my playlist, who are they subscribing to? It's whoever they subscribe to. If they found your channel through your playlist and they subscribe, it's whatever video they're watching. Okay, no, I understand now. If somebody's watching a video, regardless of how they got there, okay, if they got there through your playlist or from a YouTube search or whatever, if somebody's watching a video, below that video, it'll say, this video belongs to creator XYZ or whatever. And then there's a subscribe button. If they click subscribe, they're subscribing to that creator of that video, not to the person whose playlist they clicked on to get to that video. Okay, so no, you're not stealing subscribers. So I hope I understood your question correctly. Barb, how are you? Good to see you. If you only use AI, ChatGPT, to create your thumbnails and maybe an illustration cartoon in your video, do you still need to disclose you used AI in the video creation description process? So my understanding about the way that works is it's only if you've kind of purposely modified something and you know, trying to deceive people or make. Let me think about this now. Use AI to create your thumbnails. Okay, well, right there, no, that's fine. If it's just to create thumbnails, that is totally fine, because that's not part of the video, really. And maybe an illustration or a cartoon in your video. No, that's fine. An illustration or a cartoon in the video, that's totally fine. If you create something with AI that basically shows somebody, like a public figure, saying something that they didn't actually say, then you'd have to disclose something like that, right? That's what they want to avoid, things like that, right? Because some advertisers don't want to advertise on videos that practice those sorts of things. So YouTube wants to know if someone's doing that sort of thing so that they can basically say, hey, advertisers, if you don't want to advertise on a video like this, this is one you don't want to advertise on, right? So it's more to do with that. That's the way I understand it. But no, if you use ChatGPT or an image generating software, AI based, to make thumbnails, it's totally fine. Learned a lot from your 8 interviews. Do you plan on doing any more? Probably. No immediate plans, just because I'm busy with a bunch of stuff right now. But yeah, no, I should do some more. It's been a few months since I've done any of those. What advice for handling it when a video unexpectedly blows up? A person with a channel routinely getting 100 views per video, suddenly getting 50,000, has no idea what to do when that happens. So that kind of happened to me last year when with my first kind of viral video. And I didn't know what to do. Like, whoa, wow, what's it like? Should I hold off on posting my next video? And so I guess my thoughts on that would be, don't get too excited. It's great when that happens, when a video does that. It's rare. It may never happen to some people. It may happen to other people more than once. And it's not entirely luck, but I believe there is some luck involved. But you can be smart about the way you're making your videos to give yourself better chances of things like that happening. Okay? If it does happen, and it's the first time it's happened, then don't expect that to happen like every month kind of thing, right? When it happened to me, I got all these views last July and even into August, but then it started to come down. And so if we're talking about earnings from YouTube, my July earnings were fantastic. They were like, wow, like this is great. It's only my second month monetized. But then August, September, October, November, even December, I was 5 or 6 months of the revenues going down before they came back up above what they were in that July, right? Because I didn't have another video do something similar. So you got to manage your expectations. Don't expect that to happen all the time. And the other thing I'll say is maybe let that video breathe a bit. Like if a video is still getting like 200-300 views an hour a couple days later when you wanted to post another video, maybe hold off on posting that other video while the viral video kind of continues its run, at least for a little while. Give it some more time. But I probably wouldn't wait any longer than a week, and then I would still post the next video a week later, even if your viral video is still doing well. That's probably what I would do. Because what you want to think about is, your viral video is bringing in new people now. Okay, it's not just showing it to subscribers. It's probably beyond that. And if it's going viral, it's because YouTube is pushing it out to more people. Let it continue to do that. But if you come out with another video while that's being pushed out, picture a YouTuber or a YouTube viewer who opens up their homepage and YouTube is presenting them with several options, several thumbnails to choose from. And yours could be one of them. Your viral video could be one of them. And they're not a regular viewer of yours. Okay? That's great. But YouTube's not going to show them 2 of your thumbnails on a screen with 16 thumbnails, right? You're only going to get that one. So if you come out with a second video while that one is still doing really well, it may not get pushed out as hard as the first one. But when I say, maybe only give it a week, like after a week, you should probably post your next video. That's because there's been a week of new people finding you through that video. They're probably, a lot of them who found you maybe on day 1 are anxiously awaiting for your next video. They subscribe to you and now they want to see something else. So don't keep them waiting too long. But yeah, if you were going to post a video 2 days later, maybe give it a couple more days, maybe up to a week is what I would do. Georgia fan says, is it bad to like my own videos? No, it's not bad. I don't know that it helps because, again, YouTube knows that it's you, right? So, yeah, it wouldn't be bad. It's not going to be a strike against you at all, no. The Farrier Trails, congrats on 77K. Thank you. Did I hit that? I know I was getting close today. All right, let's see. What else we got? Oh, here we go. YouTube has the option to monetize live streams, but it looks like hardly anyone ever uses that except possibly afterwards when it's saved for replays. Yeah, so the reason why, so this live stream is not monetized right now, but as soon as I'm finished, as soon as I end this live stream, I'm going to go into my YouTube studio and turn monetization on. And I usually explain this every week, but that's if you haven't heard this before, I'm going to say it again. The reason is if I was monetized now, then I will be interrupted by YouTube. Like if you don't have YouTube Premium and you get ads, an ad is going to interrupt me every once in a while so that YouTube can display an ad to you. When that ad is over, you're going to come back to the live stream and you will have missed 30 seconds or however long of me while the ad was playing. Okay, that's the way that happens. It's because I'm not going to be paused. Like I don't stop talking for 30 seconds so an ad can play. YouTube doesn't let me know when ads are going to play because they probably play at different times for different people as well, right? So yeah, I just keep talking and I don't know. Some people are going to miss some of what I say. So with monetization off, that doesn't happen. If you're watching on the replay, then I am paused during ads, just like a regular video. So it's okay to have monetization on then. All right, so that's how that works. Should you make an intro video of yourself? Like for your channel? You can, sure. If you're struggling with what kind of video to make for your channel, then that's a good idea. You could do that. I don't know if I would make that as my first video. Like if I was starting a channel, I'd want to identify what I'm going to be talking about on my channel first, and maybe have some ideas as to what videos I want to make. But at some point, I'm going to want people to know who I am and what I do and all this. And you don't want to waste you don't want to spend too much time in your first video explaining who you are and what you do and all that, because people are there not to learn about you. They're there to learn whatever it is you're talking about in your video, because that's what you put in your title probably and your thumbnail, and then you talk about it in your video, whatever the topic is, right? I usually try to, if I introduce myself in my videos, I usually do it at the end if I remember to do it at all. But yeah, I don't spend much time at the beginning of a video saying who I am, what I do, and all that stuff, because that's not why people clicked to watch my video. And I don't want to lose people in the beginning. It's important to get right to the point at the beginning of your video. So, but maybe in video, after doing 2 or 3 videos, you may want to do an intro video, just explaining who you are. Don't expect that video to do very well, but it might be good to have on your channel, right? You could even use it as the automatic playing video on your channel if you want. What's that called? Trailer? So yeah, those are my thoughts on that. Jonathan, for a video course series, have you considered or discounted other parallel channels such as Patreon? YouTube has the volume, but is it best for subscription-based video tutorial series? I'm not sure I understand. Have I considered Patreon? I have, but I decided against it. But nothing wrong with it, right? YouTube has the volume, yeah, but is it best for subscription-based video tutorial series? So I don't use YouTube for subscription-based video tutorial series. When I make a video-based course, I plug it into the system that I use. I use Kajabi for that. So I would use Kajabi or Teachable, or no, Thinkific is one. Teachable is another one. Those are course hosting platforms. Okay, I use Kajabi. Kajabi does more than just hosting courses. It also hosts my community. It's my payment processor. It's my website hosting provider, a bunch of stuff. My email manager, funnel system, all that. So I host it there. I don't. If I make a video course, I don't host it on YouTube at all. So yeah, I do that outside of it. YouTube has a membership option, right? I do offer YouTube memberships, but that has nothing to do with my courses. That's more for that's for the semi-weekly or bi-weekly. How do you say that? Every 2 weeks, I do a members only live stream every second Wednesday, and tomorrow's the next one, right? And yeah, but I could also upload members only videos to YouTube, but I don't use it for that. I don't do that. And besides, if you use the YouTube membership option, if that's how you want to set up your memberships, just keep in mind, YouTube keeps 30% of whatever members pay for the membership. I think Patreon is a lot cheaper, and Kajabi is, well, with Kajabi, it's just whatever the transaction fees are, right? You get to keep it all. So anyways, I hope that helps. What else we got going on? Let me take, where's my drink? Oh boy. I got this pretty full. Flavored water, grape. Not Kool-Aid, but flavored water. Alrighty. What is better, quality or quantity to activate the algorithm? Quality. 100% quality. Quality. Yeah, there's no point if you want to upload 5 videos a day, if they're all crap videos, that's not going to help you at all. So 1 quality video a month would be better than 5 a day that are garbage. So, but when I say quality, okay, I'm not talking about how good the video editing is. I don't mean that at all. You could have a quality video that has basically no editing, right? Just a one take, just talking to the camera, 5-minute video, 10 minutes, 15, whatever it is, with no editing, can be a quality video if you're delivering a lot of really good information. Okay, so that's quality. Quality is, you can have a video that's heavily edited, that looks fantastic, the way titles fly in and the way you're doing your jump cuts and zoom in, punch-ins, zooms, and all this stuff, right? That can all be amazing. But if the actual content, like the message, if you will, that if that, I mean, it comes down to this. If people aren't going to watch the video, then it's not a quality video. Okay, that's the measurement right there. So it's got to be something people want to watch. That's all YouTube cares about. Yeah, so quality in your message. Just and what is quality? Quality these days are if you can help people, if you can just talk to the camera and help people, I'm trying to help you guys here, and in a lot of my videos, I just talk to the camera and I just try to help. I try to help by answering questions that are asked to me in the comment section, or if there's anything else that I feel like you might need help with. I try to figure out, okay, the people who are watching my videos, what else could they need help with? That's the question I'm always trying to answer. And that kind of guides me when deciding what video should I make next. So, and actually that reminds me, I started a poll here. How's this going? Whoa, 164 votes to the poll. Here, let me share my screen with you guys so you can see this. So right up here, here's the poll. So just so you know, this is YouTube Studio. I've actually separated the chat so I could put it over. I popped out the chat so I could put it over on the left side to get it closer to where the camera is. So I've done that. But here was the poll. What video should I make next? Vote below. And it looks like filming your first YouTube video is winning, but barely over storage and backup. And you don't need to be an expert is third, and then monetized 1 year later is fourth. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so I'm going to do all of these. Maybe not the fourth one. If people want the fourth one, great. But the first 3, like storage and backup, I know I need to do that video. I've promised that before, and I now have a good system in place that I can make a video about that, like how I handle all that. Because video files are huge. They're huge. Like how do you, if you want to save a copy of everything you've uploaded to YouTube, and also the source files, like if you ever wanted to re-edit a video and make another video from an old video, right? It would help if you had the source files. So I've got a good system set up there. Filming your first YouTube video. So my thoughts around that were, and I actually wrote, where did that go? Oh, right here. I'm thinking more about, because I was thinking about that video of mine that went viral last July 2024. And I'm more thinking about not necessarily how to film your first video. That'll be a part of it, but it's also, what did it feel like? Right? Because I feel like a lot of people are worried about, or not worried, unsure, maybe, I don't know what the right word is, hesitant, anxious, maybe, to make that first video. just, doing a lot of studying, trying to make sure everything's going to be perfect. Oh, I don't have the right light, so I got to wait till I order that light. Then maybe I can, I don't know what to say. I need a teleprompter. That's what I need. Then it'll be good, right? So, but all that aside, what does it actually feel like to sit down and do your first video? What does it feel like before? What does it feel like during? And then what does it feel like afterwards? What are the things I think about while I'm making the video, right? And yeah, so anyway, that's kind of what I was thinking. I only get 35 characters to type in these polls, so I had to shorten. But yeah, I was thinking the title was going to be, what's it feel like to film your first YouTube video? Like before, during, after, that kind of thing. And then you don't need to be an expert. So I mean, I've talked about this quite a bit too. I have a comment saved from somebody from a couple weeks ago where she said, I just don't know how to get started. I think I know what I want to talk about, but I'm not an expert. Like, I don't know everything I feel like I need to know to talk about this thing. And so my answer was basically, I don't consider myself an expert in YouTube. And that's the truth. I don't. I'm just sharing what I know. And what I know sometimes is not correct. I make mistakes, but I share them as I go. As I learn mistakes, I will share them. And that's why there's been a couple of times where I've made a video, and then in the comments, somebody might call me out and say, oh, what do you mean? What about this? And I'm like, oh, you know what? I never thought about that. So I'll make another video, a follow-up video, and I've done that a few times. So this is, I treat this channel like a conversation, and I highly recommend that if you're unsure how to start your own channel, that you consider doing something like that as well. I don't want to tell you what to do, but I would be hesitant to frame yourself as an expert in anything when you want to start a YouTube channel, because there's always going to be somebody out there who knows more than you do. Always. I can ream off a dozen people who I know more about YouTube than I do, right? Nick Nimmin, Brian G. Johnson, Peter McKinnon, like 3 guys that I have watched and have learned a lot from, and will continue to learn from those guys. Like, I'm not an expert, and I'm okay saying that. And you don't need to be an expert to help other people, to teach other people what you do know. You don't need to be an expert. And I usually say this every week too, but I'll say it again. If you're in grade 1 and you need to learn grade 1 math, like how to add 2 single-digit numbers together, you don't need an Einstein to teach you that. You don't need a PhD or a master's in mathematics to teach you that. You just need somebody who's in grade 3, another student in grade 3, to teach you how to do grade 1 math, right? So anyway, enough of that. How we doing here? What's for lunch, Nicola? Nicola's here. How you doing, Nicola? What is for lunch? You make some great videos. You make me hungry whenever I see one of your videos. Nicola's recipes, or Nicola recipes. Yeah. What's for lunch? Let's see. Nicola, I am very well, Rob. Awesome. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. But we do want to know what's for lunch. Andrew Cuthbert, hello from New Hampshire. Hello, Andrew. Caroline's Rabbit Hole. This is so helpful. One of my concerns has been, let me switch that back. Oh, by the way, I have another camera hooked up right over there. Right over there. So, yeah, why don't I show you? I didn't show you that. So get back the camera. So just show you what's going on today. So here's my setup today, like I showed you earlier. That's my main camera I have been looking at. But I've got that one set up too, over on my messy desk. That is the ZV-E10 with just the kit lens on it. And then over here is the older A6400 with the better Sigma lens on it. Okay, that's why you get more of a blurrier background behind me with this one than you do with this one. This one is a little flatter, like everything's in focus, or it should be pretty much in focus. So I wouldn't mind getting another one of these lenses to put on that, but they're like $600 Canadian, so I don't need it, right? All right, where was I? I was looking at the current chats. Hello from Panama. Something better today. Welcome. Let's go. So with Joanne, would love to know how to record with 2 cameras, then edit in Camtasia so I can upload to YouTube. Absolutely. How to record with 2 cameras, then edit in Camtasia so I can upload to YouTube. I'll tell you how I do it. I'm going to make another video about this. I do have an older video about this, but let me just give you the high-level overview of how I would do this. Try not to think about connecting your cameras to your computer to record into your computer. I would, if I wanted a 2-angle video where I'm recording myself both here and over here, right? Two different angles. Record, like press record on this camera and press record on that camera and have them record internally onto the SD card in the cameras. Okay? And then record away. How you capture your audio is up to you. You could have a mic attached to this camera or one attached to that camera, or one just wired into your computer and capture your audio separately. Or one of those DJI mics, a wireless mic, and record directly onto it. However you want to do that, that would be another track. And then just bring it, when you're finished, stop the recordings, bring them all into your computer, right? So on these cameras, I would actually physically pop out the SD card, pop it into my MacBook, and move the file over to my project. I would create a project folder for this new project. In that, I would create a recordings folder. So I'd put, and then I would call this one A6400 recording. And I'd put that in there, and I'd bring that one in. I'd bring my audio in. So now I've got all my recordings in that folder. Then open up Camtasia, bring all those tracks in, sync them to the audio, because both cameras, even if they're not recording the mic audio that you want to eventually be using, right? If you're recording that mic separately, these 2 cameras still record audio. They have mics in them. They're just not very good. But at least you'll be able to see the audio waveforms in that track in Camtasia. So, if you started, this audio recording and the 2 cameras, record. So within, say, 5 seconds, they're all recording. So you can get a pretty good head start on how to line them up. It becomes apparent how to line them up. Then you zoom way in and you line them up even better, right? Zoom in all the way, and then you do it, just play it, just to make sure with all 3 audios in place. Play a little section to make sure there's not too much of an echo. You would get an echo if they weren't perfectly lined up. You're going to get a little bit of echo anyways, but try to get it as close as you can. And then when you have it synced properly, then you highlight the 2 tracks from your cameras, right-click in Camtasia and select mute audio or delete audio, right? And only keep the main audio. And that's it. Now all 3 tracks are synced, and you want to do all of that before you do any editing. Okay? That's why it's also important to only do one. Well, I mean, sometimes I have to do 2, but really, you want to do 1 long take. Even if you make a mistake, leave it in, because you don't want to ever stop your camera from recording and then start it up again, because now you're starting up 3 things, and you're going to have to sync all of them, right, after every time you start and stop and start, right? So don't do that. Just record the whole thing and then get them all in, sync them up, and then, you can group all 3 things together so that you only have to make 1 cut every time you're making a cut in your editing. I don't usually group them, but I always highlight all 3, and then I hit the S key for, split, and then, anyway. So I hope that helped explain. That's the way I do it, okay? Yes, there are ways to record directly into your computer with either Ecamm or OBS or even, well, not Camtasia. Camtasia, you can only record 1 camera. Anyway, I hope that helps. So cool. Thanks, Rob. I'm relatively comfortable with editing. How do you actually sync? You just click and drag. Like once you get a video track in there, you just click and drag it. Let me show you. I haven't done this in a little while, so I am going to bring up a Let's try this one. I'm going to launch, I'm going to share my screen, but I'm just launching the program first. You got to bear with me because I'm down a monitor. I'm only using one extra monitor. Okay, so you can see this. For those who aren't familiar, this is Camtasia, okay? This is what it looks like. You've got your canvas here. You've got your, here's the files that I brought in, and here's the timeline. I've got 3 things, and this is exactly, well, similar to what we're talking about. I have 2 video tracks and an audio track. So I've already deleted the audio from this one. This one is not actually a video, it was a screen capture, okay? So that a little bit different that way. But let me just show you, if I right-click this and bring the audio back, restore audio, there. So now let me just zoom in. You see what I mean? When you zoom in, you can see the 2 audio forms. And let me just play a little bit of this. So an overlay would be, I mean, we've been into the overlay window. Can you guys hear that? Hopefully you can. Here, let me show this. So yeah, so here, let me play that again. Here in Ecamm Live. Okay, so, and if you wanted to see this screenshot below, all I would have to do is, you know, drag, whoops, Control Z, back that up, Control Z, click and drag, make that smaller, okay? So overlay could consider. Okay, so I don't know if you can tell, but there is a bit of an echo because I have 2 copies of the audio going. If you zoom right in, you can kind of tell where it lines up, right? Like the 2 audio waveforms look the same, okay? If they were out of sync, it would be like that, out of sync. And now listen. So overlay could consist of. Okay, it's out of sync, so it's not going to sound great. Now, here, let me just click all these and drag them over like that. And then to sync it, you just click and drag one until they match up. And again, you want, now this is going to snap to exactly where I want it to be. Let's do this so it won't snap. Okay, so I would zoom way in, right? I'd get that as, so if I play it here, in this video, I want to talk. Too much echo. So I would just drag this back. It looks like that's probably the right spot. In this video, I want to talk. No echo. So that's where I want it. Now let me just fix this. I'm going to double click here to put the playhead back at the beginning. Press Shift and I'll click and drag this back to the beginning. These are now synced. So now I just highlight this, right click, and where is it? Silence audio. Okay, now I've just got my good audio there. I want to talk about overlays. Okay, that's how you do it. So yeah, and you would do that in any editing program, whether it's Camtasia or whatever else you use, DaVinci Resolve, you would do it the same way. I'm going to delete that. Don't save, because that's one of my, that's one of the live streaming videos I'm doing. Got it, Rob. Awesome. Good. JB is here. How you doing, Jay? Good to see you. Good to see you. Naz, is Naz in the house? How you doing, Naz? New Creator Club. What else we got here? I'm thirsty. That's what we got. I'm going to take a drink. Now, if I go... Oh, Alexander Patrick, Camtasia can be used on both PC and Mac? Yes, it can. When you sign up for Camtasia, they are 2 slightly different programs. For some reason, like the split or cut key, like the shortcut key is different in Mac and PC. I don't know why. But yes, that gives you a license to use either Mac or PC or both if you have both. And you can save on one and then upload them on the other. For years, I used Camtasia on a PC. It's about 2.5 years ago that I finally made the move to Apple and my MacBook. Best decision I ever made. But anyways, nothing against PC users, but I love my Mac now. But yeah, you could use it on either. String Shock Steve, I've been testing making videos. Biggest issues are lighting, getting the right angle when I'm looking directly at the audience, and remembering all that I want to say. Record sections and splice. You can do that. You can record sections and splice, but and I was doing that. It's hard to remember what to say. I still struggle with that. So sometimes I do have to pause and kind of look at my notes and then kind of reset and okay, let's talk again. But I wouldn't, if I ever have to do that while I'm recording, I would never stop my recording and then start it up again. I let it roll. Okay, it's so much easier, especially if you have to sync audio with a camera or with two cameras, right? It's so much easier to just deal with all those, like get rid of all the mistakes at the end. And it took me a while to figure that out. The first one I did, again, was last July when I sat down and I filmed. I made a 24-minute video, but it took me probably close to an hour of filming, and it was only the last 24 minutes, well, 22 minutes, I think, that was the good take. The first 35 minutes or whatever it was all me trying to start and then messing up, maybe getting 2 minutes into it, and then it's like, oh, no, that's not what I wanted to say. And then I start over and standing up and sitting down and all this stuff. So, when I finally did that, when I finally just recorded the whole way through, and I did have some notes written down, and I taped them to my tripod right below my camera so that I could quickly glance at them without having to get up and kind of reset myself, because that way, if you can minimize the amount of movements that you have to do between sentences that you say, then that would make for an easier time to edit, right? So one tip would be, when you finish saying a sentence, don't finish your sentence like this, okay? Because then you're still talking, but you're looking down at your notes. You want to finish a sentence like this, okay? And then start your second sentence, right? But if you finish your sentence like this, and then start your second sentence, you can see how you're going to get your head going up and down, capture it. You want to be able to cut all of that out. So finish sentence one like this, half second stare, look down, and then your second sentence can start like this. All right. So anyway, just having fun now. We had a super chat. Where'd it go? Fiercely Sober. Super chat. Thank you very much, Fiercely Sober. Where'd it go here? Let me pop it up here. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Do you use a teleprompter? What do you recommend? I do not. I have one, and I used to use it a lot. But in the last year, I've only used it a handful of times. The only time I use it now is if I have a brand deal, like a sponsor, and I need to read something and I have to get it right, like a 60-second ad read, say. I'll use it then. Or if I've come out with, I remember when I came out with my starter course and I made a video where I wanted to say very specific things, I used it for that, but I may not do that the next time. Anyway, it's really hard to use a teleprompter and have it look and sound authentic and have it look and sound like you're not using a teleprompter. It's really hard. And people would just rather listen to real people who are just winging it, is what I've learned, doing the best they can. So if you can get to a place where you can do that, that is so much better. Again, if you can use a teleprompter and you're able to use it very well and able to hide the fact that you're using it, then that is a skill. That I think that's a skill not many people have. And I've tried it for, it was 3 years I'd been doing that, and I still wasn't able to master that. So anyway, that's what I would recommend. Just sit down, press record on your phone or your camera, and talk to it. And try to talk to it for 5 minutes. And try to do that every day, and then you'll get better at it. So there you go. Let's see. Let me type the QQQs in again. See what else we got. I know I'm missing some stuff. Jim over 30. I'm trying a 30-day experiment to do 3 long-form videos a week for 4 weeks to see how it helps the channel. Been usually doing 1 to 2 videos. Any advice? Awesome. I think that's great. That's kind of how I started when I kind of restarted my channel. I went 3 videos and 1 live stream a week. And I did that for many months. And it really helped. So any advice? I guess my advice would be try not to force it. Like if you ever feel like you need to take a break, right? If you know, I understand it's a challenge and you want to get 3 videos out every week. If you feel like you're on a roll, here's one thing you could do, because a day may come where, you know what, I was supposed to put a video out today or tomorrow and I just don't feel it. I don't feel like I can do it. If that day comes, it'd be nice if you had a video already made, right? So maybe if a day comes where you make a video and it kind of went well, you filmed a video, so yeah, that was good. You may have another thought in your head of what video to make next. Maybe record that right away. Like record back-to-back videos. Okay, so 2, and then start editing the first one, but then you have another one ready to edit, right? So on days where you don't feel like doing it, just take a break. But on days where you feel like things are going well, maybe do 2. Okay, that would be my main advice. But good luck with that. I'm excited for you. That might work well. Can you make a video on making training courses? I can. I can. I will add that to the list because I can do that. Does the choice of category for your channel make any difference, and should I change it depending on what type of video you are uploading? I love Canva too. I never change my my category. I leave mine as how to, what's it called? How to / personal or something like that. It really doesn't matter. Like that matters more, I think, to advertisers and what categories do they want their video, their ads to be played on, if that makes sense. It really has no bearing on how your videos are discovered or searched for or found in browse. So I wouldn't spend too much time worrying about that. Pick the thing that you think is the closest to what you're doing and stick with that. That's what I do. Mine's the same all the time. Terry Miller, how you doing, Terry? I got the paid vidIQ and it's a game changer. Awesome. I use the AI analyzer and it gives me great suggestions on improving my videos. Can you comment on some things you use vidIQ for? So it sounds like you use vidIQ more than I do, but I can share what I use it for. Let's see. Let me share this screen with you. Here we go. So here's my channel. Okay. If I were to watch this video here, let me just click on that. YouTube thumbnail. I'll turn actually I won't turn I'll pause it. Okay. So, yeah, here's what I love about it. It's less to do with logging in and using vidIQ, but more to do with the Chrome extension you get. That you can attach, the Chrome extension, browser extension. It shows you this stuff over here. I love this. So for whatever video you're watching, okay, so in this case, it's one of my own videos, it shows you a graph over here. You can see, number of views. You can see an overview. AI Coach, I actually haven't used that. But let's go back to overview. You can see the number of subscribers are on the channel and how I got there. Right? And you can kind of scroll over it and you can see where I was at different dates. Okay, I love that. Same with the number of views. So the graph is slightly different. So that is fantastic. The other thing is if I come, okay, let's not go there. Let's go here. So my YouTube studio, you guys are seeing this, right? Yeah. So if I go to community, okay, so here are the comments that I haven't answered yet. I like that I can see how many subscribers the commenters have, right? So I can see that it's listed right here in these little blue numbers. That's something vidIQ adds. Okay, they add that to YouTube Studio. So, and there's some other things up here. Actually, I don't typically go up there, but yeah, that's kind of cool stuff too. But those are the main things. This stuff here, and then on the main channel, this graph over here. I love that stuff. So there you go, Terry. That's what I use it for. Let's bring that back there. Now, where was I? Bryce Kirk. I'm a new subscriber, a new YouTuber. Welcome, Bryce. I was wondering how many videos you should post before you should change things up if you have low viewership. Appreciate your time. How many videos? I mean, there's no real way, there's no good way to answer that. It can be, it's whatever you, if you feel like things are stagnating on your channel or you're just not getting the views you think you should be getting, that's a good time to try to change things up. Not necessarily the topic that you're talking about or the niche, right? Or your audience. Like you still want to, if you've decided there's a specific audience you want to speak to, then, speak to that audience, but just try different things, whether it's a slightly different topic that you think your audience might also be interested in, or a different way of making your videos. Maybe, if you normally make a video inside, like sitting in a chair like I am here at your office, then maybe go outside and film one outside, going for a walk. That I found that really helped me. My first viral video I made in here, in the leather chair over here, comfy area. The cat was behind me on the back of the chair. It was like a cozy environment. That video did really well, so I did several like that. All the other ones didn't do as well, but all better than what I had been doing. But then I decided to change it up. I went outside, went for a walk outside. All of a sudden, more viewers like, oh wow, I love this. Like this, now you're showing us where you live and the trees and the ocean and all this stuff, right? So people like it when you change things up like that. So I actually look at my channel now when I'm deciding what video to make next and how I want to make it. So if I've made several in a row on the trail outside, walking on the trail, I might think, you know what, it's been a while since I've made one in here in the chair. I'll do that. Or you know what, maybe I'll go to the beach. That'll be something different for people to see. Or maybe I'll go sit on the dock, and that'll be something different for people to see. So I do think of things like that. So changing it up. Like the other good thing about making videos outside where the background is changing, like if you're either walking around or if you're standing and maybe just kind of rotating a little bit, the cool thing about that is the background is always changing, which means you really don't need to add B-roll to keep people interested. Like a lot of times, if you're just sitting in a chair and you're talking about something, if you don't add B-roll and it's a longer video, you could start to lose people if it's not very engaging content, right? People might get bored and just leave. So that's when you would quite often add B-roll to try to keep people interested, right? Just B-roll of whatever. Whether it's B-roll you shot yourself or B-roll you've downloaded from Storyblocks or whatever. But if you make a video outside, you don't have to worry about that as much because things are changing. And then people may not be staring right at you. They might be looking at what you're walking by, right? So just some things to keep in mind. Explain B-roll, Crafty Sky Lady. So yeah, B-roll is, and the reason it's called B-roll, so A-roll is your video. Like if I'm filming this is the A-roll. If I want another video to show while I'm doing this talking, basically to hide this video of me, but you can still hear my voice, put a video on top of the A-roll, that's called B-roll. So if you watch a video and someone's talking, but then, I'll show you. I will show you. Let's go back here to my channel, and it was this video here. My last video that I made last week. Let's just play the beginning. As we know it, is dying. And it's right there. Sad. And it hasn't been. So I filmed this whole thing actually in one take. This whole video was filmed in one take. But then when I decided to edit it, I added B-roll just at the beginning, just to kind of change things up again. It's important to keep people interested in the beginning so you don't lose people. So for the first 10 or 15 seconds, I added B-roll. So this is what it was. So picture, I'm sitting here on the dock. I'm talking this whole time that you're going to see B-roll shown. The internet, as we know it, is dying. And it's kind of sad. B-roll. It hasn't been around that long, really. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it was kind of the mid to late 90s when it came along. AOL, right? Way to get online, for those of you who remember. There. I mean, I know it's been around. So now we're back to the video. I never stopped talking, but all of that B-roll was in there, basically hiding myself, and it just keeps people interested. Let me just show you really quick. Where is it? I'm going to show you. Here we go. You guys see that? So this is that video in my editing program. So if we zoom right in here, we've got the camera here, the track with the video on it. This is the track with the audio. And I know most video editing programs have the audio below the video. In Camtasia, it doesn't matter. You can mix them up if you want. But so this is the A roll down here, and this is the B roll where I put those, additional videos on top. So if I play this,
is dying, and
there, that clip,
that clip,
that clip. So all B-roll. But for the most part, I only did that at the beginning. So after, say, 15 seconds, that was it. Later on, I added more B-roll. So if I go here, you can see the B-roll that I added here, just a little bit, because I said something about it's a wonderful world or something, and I thought it'd be good to show some of the ocean.
Reconnect with the world. I mean, it's a beautiful world, right? And a lot of people forget that. A lot of people spend so much time online.
That's even B-roll.
And not face-to-face with people.
When I was...
and their only interaction.
Okay, so that's B-roll, and then I did some at the end. No, I didn't. I was going to do bloopers, but I didn't. Okay, anyway, that's B-roll. All right, let me close that. What is software? Catherine says, what is software that removes the pauses? You talked about something a while back. Whatever video program you use, you can use to remove pauses. I don't use an automated system to do that. I just use Camtasia, and I cut them out manually when I do. All right, I usually leave a lot of my pauses in. The only time I'll cut them out is if it's extra long, or if it's at the beginning of the video and I want my opening line or two to be nice and tight. Then I'll manually take them out. But there is, I know more and more programs will do this automatically. I know Descript will. That's basically a text-based video editor where you can delete text and that deletes the video for you. I don't know what I think of that. I don't think you have to use that, but I feel like I would like a little more control over that. Like sometimes if I want to delete a pause, maybe I only want to delete the pause in the audio, but I want to keep the video like overlapping a little bit. And that's called like a J cut or an L cut, right? But yeah, Descript, I know. They're kind of known for AI text-based editing like that. Terry says, look at Gling.ai as an add-on to your workflow. Okay. You know what? There are so many. So I've never heard of Gling.ai, but there are a ton of AI tools, and more every day, it seems, that help with certain aspects of all of this. I haven't really gotten into all that stuff, all the things you could do with AI to edit videos, because it's just too much. It's so much to keep track of, and it's changing so fast. And quite honestly, I don't feel like it takes that long just to do it manually. You know, and do my videos maybe have a little too much in the way of ums and ahs and pauses in them? Maybe, but I also feel like a lot of my viewers, it comes back to this. You will naturally attract the right viewers for you based on the style of your videos. So my style has been to leave those in. Ums, ahs, pauses. For the most part, there's a lot of those in my videos. I now have over 70,000 subscribers who subscribed to me while I was leaving in pauses. Okay? So I've got to think that for the most part, the people who watch my videos are okay with the way I've been making my videos. If I now start eliminating all of my pauses and cutting up all my videos, A, they won't be as authentic as they are now, and B, those aren't the types of videos that attracted my existing subscriber base. Okay, so I may lose some people that way. I may gain others, but I may lose some. And do I want to do that? No, I don't think so, because I feel like that would be harder. That would be not what I'm used to doing. So I guess it comes down to this. Find what works for you. And if for you that means cutting out pauses and ums and ahs, maybe you use them more than I do, or you just want to get rid of them. That's fine. If that's what you're comfortable with, and you end up with you figure out a workflow that works for you that allows you to make those types of videos efficiently, And then that's how you start attracting an audience and subscribers with those types of videos. Just know that, that's why you got your subscribers. So, maybe continue to make videos that way. So yeah, just find what works for you and that you're comfortable with and run with that. And YouTube will do the rest and find the right people for you, right? Like, you're not going to find, and this is a little bit off topic, but when you're trying to figure out what niche, like what you want to talk about in your videos, there's no way to find a topic that has not been done already. Okay? I'm not talking about anything here that other people haven't talked about. So, it would be frugal. It would be pointless for me to try to emulate or copy somebody else or try to be a certain way if it's just easier just to be myself. And if I'm just myself, then that's my differentiator. That's what'll make me different from other people who are making the same types of videos as I am, right? So I am the difference. And for that other person, they are the difference. Okay, so some people would rather listen to me. Other people would rather listen to them, right? Somebody else. And that's okay because there's enough people around the world for all of us. So anyway, there's my little rant. Not really rant, but sharing my thoughts. Do I need to create a brand new channel instead of using old channel with other niche and audience? I uploaded 2 videos, both 0 views. If you're changing your niche, if it's a significant change, and if you feel like the new content you're making is not what your existing subscribers signed up for, then yeah, start a new channel. And it's okay. If you have a brand account, you can have as many channels as you want, I believe. So that's what I would do. That's what I would do for sure. Because if you upload new videos, like you've found out, you upload new videos that might be for a different audience, well, YouTube is going to test those videos on your existing audience first, your existing subscribers. And if that's not what they wanted from you, they just might gloss over it. They might, that's not what I'm interested in, and they'll move on, right? So then YouTube will say to themselves, oh, even their own subscribers don't want to watch this video. It must not be a good video. We're not going to push it out anymore. So that's what happens. That's the danger when you completely shift niches or audiences within the same channel. Even if you separate them by playlists, right? That's the danger if you want to talk about more than one thing. And there's a lot of people out there who do want to. I get this a lot. It's like, I don't want to be captive to the algorithm. I don't want it to dictate what I make video-wise. I want to make whatever I want to make. And I get that and I understand. But just know that it'll be harder to grow a channel that way. There has to be something that I guess connects the 2 different topics you want to talk about. That something could be you, but if you are going to be the reason people want to come watch your videos, I feel like you have to be a little more established. So that's why I don't think that works well for brand new channels that are just getting going and nobody knows you yet. But if you've got, 100 videos and 50,000 subscribers or whatever it is, at that point, you probably have a significant number of people who will watch whatever you want to make, right? Super fans. It would be easier to pivot then than it would if nobody knows who you are yet. Okay, so there you go. There you go. Who else is here? I see JB's in the house. Did you have a normal job when you were posting 3 times a week? That's a lot of videos, and I know many people might find that difficult with a 9 to 5. Normal job. Well, I was freelancing. Okay, I've been on my own since 2003, since my daughter was born. Is when I left corporate Canada, if you will. I was an engineer before that, but then I started a web hosting business, got into website design, got into making tutorial videos for companies, and I've been an entrepreneur ever since. So at the time when I started posting 3 videos a week in YouTube, like a year and a half ago, over a year ago, I was working as a freelancer at the time. So I was still working here in this office, but I was working as a freelancer through Fiverr. So, and I was really busy. And so, yes, it was hard to do that and make 3 videos a week. But I got a system down that allowed me to make them that quickly. I was able to make sometimes 2 or 3 videos in a day. And they were just quick, short, how-to videos. And the intros were all similar, and the outros were similar, and the thumbnails were all similar. And I just got a system down, and I got fast at making them. So yeah, that's how I got into this. So, but I completely understand that it's hard to do that when you have a full-time job, because that was kind of a full-time job, my freelancing thing, right? I was putting in more than 40 hours a week doing that, and then on top of that, 3 videos a week. So yeah, it didn't take very long before the freelancing started to go down because I just didn't have enough time, and I saw, the potential with this YouTube, and I wanted to make the switch. So that's a little bit about how I did that. Chaito, how are you? Can you go live with a pre-recorded video? I've seen people do that and just have the live chat with an old video. Yes, you can. I've never done that myself, but you can do that with Ecamm Live. You can create a video, load it into Ecamm or StreamYard or whatever you use to go live, whatever software. Even if you use YouTube Studio, if you used YouTube Studio, what I would do probably is share. No, if you share your screen, you're still going to be in the inset. So yeah, you would use like StreamYard or Ecamm Live or OBS or Restream, something like that. And you can load a pre-recorded video in there or put it on a monitor that you want to share, like another screen, and have that play while you're going live. Might want to make sure your microphone is turned off if you don't want your voice to come through as well. But absolutely, you can do that. Sophia, about YouTube Shorts. If we decide to do some, what's best? Use part of a video we have already posted or do something completely new? Yes, both. You can do either. For the most part, what I've done is repurposed existing content. So I'll use a service called like Opus Clip, and I'll upload a video of mine, a long form video of mine, or not upload, but you paste the URL link into Opus Clip, and it will create shorts for you. 15 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes even. So that's all I've really done. It'll add the captions automatically. It's pretty slick the way it works. So yeah, it all depends on what you want to do. But if you want to make my shorts don't get a ton of views. So I don't know if I would take a whole lot of advice from me with that. But if you're good at making like entertaining videos that are funny, right, then probably try to make it from scratch. So you could do it either way, whatever works for you. Which software do you use for live streams? Ecamm Live. I use a MacBook Pro. Actually, this live stream right here, what I'm doing is I'm not even plugged in to my network. I'm just using Wi-Fi on my MacBook. Yeah, because my cable wouldn't stretch from over there to here. So that's how I'm doing that. So yeah, I use Ecamm Live and I love it. It's what allows me to put these messages on the screen. You can also do that with StreamYard, which is a browser-based system, but I use Ecamm Live. And Chaito, I hope I'm saying your name right, Super Chat. Thank you so much, Chaito. I really appreciate that. And your question, you don't have a question. Thank you, Rob. Oh, I answered your question. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Awesome. All right. How's our poll doing? Storage and backups is now number 1. 245 votes. Right here. 245 votes. 31% want to see the storage and backup solution. Filming your first YouTube video. Maybe that's not getting as many now because I explained what it was going to be, and maybe that's not what you were hoping it was going to be. Maybe that happened. Georgia fan. Woohoo, yes. That's the one you want. Awesome. Maggie the Caddy's in the house. What does an exclamation in a triangle in YouTube Studio mean? Probably an alert or something. Hover over it and a pop-up should show up telling you what that is. Some kind of an alert. Oh, let me change the screen back so you can see this. I forced myself to learn OBS, which has a harder learning curve, but it can do pretty much everything Ecamm Live can do for free. I have both. Ecamm is easier, but wanted to learn OBS just in case. So I've kind of gone the other way because I've used OBS as well. My big and lots of people use OBS. It's open source, it's free, it's highly customizable, as is Ecamm Live, but Ecamm Live's not free. The big thing for me is this message of yours that I've got on screen right now. Ecamm Live makes that easy. That's hard in OBS. It's not, you can't do it in OBS natively. There are third-party apps that allow this to happen, but it was hit and miss for me. It worked one week, and then it didn't work, and then it did, and then it didn't. And it's like, you know what, I don't. And it seemed like every time I wanted to launch OBS, there was an update and thing. I don't know. It's just too much for me. I'm not that techie, if you will. And Ecamm is just like most Apple software. It just works out of the box. So that's why I stuck with that. But OBS, a ton of people use it. Probably more than who use Ecamm Live. Can you recommend something to edit on other than CapCut, but similar to it? So I will suggest Camtasia. That's what I use. CapCut is good for beginners. It's a good beginner editing tool, and I've used it before, but it's got its issues with its privacy policy and things like that, which some people are leaving because of that, and also because it's tied to TikTok. And back in January, the U.S. So I don't know where you are, but for those of you in the United States, TikTok and therefore CapCut as well were both banned for a day in January by the government. And they unbanned it either later that day or the next day. But during the ban, nobody could reach their CapCut files and their videos, their programs. So that scared a lot of people. And if the government decides to do that again, so anyway, that was the problem with it. But then more lately, the problem has been they changed their policies such that anything you upload to CapCut and use to make videos, CapCut owns now. CapCut and they're a Chinese company, or they're owned by, what's it called? ByteDance is the parent company that owns CapCut and TikTok. And people, that scared people too. So anyways, you didn't need to know that. You probably already know that if you're looking for something else. Camtasia is what I would recommend. I find that very easy to learn for beginners. It's what I use. And full disclosure, I do have a discount coupon code below, and I do earn a commission if anybody buys Camtasia through my link below in the description. So that out of the way. I will also say that DaVinci Resolve is a very popular one. Harder to learn, but can do more with it. It's way more powerful than Camtasia and CapCut. DaVinci Resolve is, but a little harder to learn. Filmora is another one that beginners like. I think it's a little more expensive though. It's almost like a pay per use kind of thing where the more tools you want, the more you have to pay. That's unless they've changed it. What else? Descript is another one. Descript, again, I mentioned that. That's one where you can edit by text. Delete text and that'll delete part of the video, that kind of thing. So it's getting heavily into AI as well. So there's some choices for you. Mary Dessou, can you make a video about merch on channel, possibly print on demand merch? I would like to at some point, but I've never done it myself. So I don't feel like I would do it justice if I made a video on that right now. I know it's a great way it can be a great source of revenue if you, want to create your own merch. And I probably will at some point on this channel. I just haven't yet. Once I do, I'll make a video on how to do it. How does that sound? All right, let's see. Storage and backup, another vote for that one. Yeah, it's winning, still 31%. Warning sign in a triangle means you're about to go viral. Really? Promise? That would be nice. Show hikes and also a hiking tip for each video. Also do stories about safety, the 10 essentials, etc. Yeah, I'd like to get back out on the trail, but I'm not allowed right now. I don't know. Actually, that camera's about to die. So say goodbye. Say goodbye to this camera. By the camera, it already says that the battery is out. So yeah, again, my battery that like the dummy battery that plugs into the wall, I don't have access to because it's behind my desk. It won't reach. So I have a real battery in that one. What was I saying? What was I saying? Oh yeah, I'm not allowed to go hiking right now. I can't go out on the trail because of all the forest fires in this part of... Actually, we don't have a lot of fires here, but it is so dry. We're at risk of forest fires. So the government here has banned the woods. We're not allowed to go. Not only can we not take like motorbikes and four-wheelers and vehicles into the woods, but we can't take bicycles and we can't walk in the woods at all. They're worried that people, who might, maybe they're smokers who would throw a butt or right. So anyways, they've just told everybody stay out of the woods. And there's a big fine if you go in. So yeah, no, the trail videos, I have to take a break on those for a little while, unfortunately. Crafty Sky Lady, I've been asking my recent viewers to think about subscribing. Is this a turnoff? That is a great question. Is it a turnoff? I don't know. I mean, maybe for some. I guess it depends on how you phrase it. I will say that I don't think it's as necessary anymore to say that, to actually ask people to subscribe. I mean, some people will say, don't be afraid to ask, right? It's like trying to sell something, like don't be afraid to ask for the sale, right? And I get that, but I almost feel like, especially at the beginning, like if it's kind of a pet peeve of mine, if somebody opens up a video by introducing themselves and then saying something like, don't forget to like and subscribe to this video, and I'm like, you just started the video. I don't know if I like it yet. Like, show me the video first, then I'll decide if I want to like and subscribe, right? So there's that, and I think an increasing number of people have a problem with that. But I think a lot of beginner YouTubers who are just getting onto it may have seen a lot of videos where people are saying those things like and subscribe, and they want to make sure they say it too. So they'll say it at the beginning. Maybe that's when they're thinking about saying it. So my advice is if you're going to say it, leave it till the end. But even, the thing is, maybe 5-10 years ago, people didn't know that if they wanted to see another one of your videos, they should click subscribe, because then YouTube will feed them more of your videos. That might have been the case. But today, I think for the most part, people know that if they want to see another one of your videos, they're going to click subscribe. They know what the subscribe button means now. Most people do. So because of that, I don't feel like it's as necessary to say. That said, if you want to say it still, say it at the end of the video and leave it short. Like, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Like, boom, that was pretty quick, right? You can say something like that. So there you go. My concern is my English speaking skills aren't as strong as native speakers, and I want to... Oh, that disappeared. And I want my videos to reach audiences in the US, Canada, UK, and other Western countries. Will it work? Yeah, so I get this a fair amount too, and I understand your concern, but as an English speaker, when somebody is speaking English to me, like in a video, and it's kind of obvious that that's not their first language, I'm very appreciative of that. So that means you've made the effort to speak in my language so that I can understand you. And I thank you for that. Like that's, because I can't do that. I know a little bit of French. I can speak a little bit of French, not enough to make a video in French. But, so yeah, I can't do that. If you can do that, and you've gone through the effort of learning a second or third or fourth language, and then you're making a video in that language, then I feel like people like me should be appreciative of that and thankful that you've done that. So there's that. So that's one reason why I wouldn't worry about it too much. But the other thing is, sometimes it's kind of cool to hear people speak with different accents. right? And quite often, if your first language is not English, then you're going to speak English with some sort of an accent in, whatever, right? People from all over the world will sound differently speaking the same language. And that's kind of cool to hear accents from people from different places in the world. I think that's cool myself. That said, you do have to make an effort to try to sound clear, okay? So even if you're speaking English, like if you speak too fast, it might be too hard for somebody to hear and to understand what you're saying. So maybe if you feel like that might be happening with you, then maybe try to make an effort to slow down a little bit and just to pronounce your words as clearly as you think you can. Like I exaggerated there, but you know what I mean? So that's all. And then I wouldn't worry about it too much, because then what will take over is the people who do like the way you sound, right, will naturally be attracted to your videos and subscribe and all that stuff. So there you go. And I need to recognize Pompano Beach Vibes with a super chat. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Pompano Beach Vibes says, my channel exists because of your sage advice to just move forward with my iPhone 11. Now is 62 subs from 0 in 5 months existence. Todd. No problem, Todd. Congrats on getting started. iPhone 11 is a perfectly fine phone. Yeah, let this be a lesson to any of you out there who haven't started yet. You don't need any fancy cameras to do YouTube. You don't. Even if it's an older phone than an iPhone 11, and the picture quality isn't that great, right? Even if that's the case, it's your message that matters more than the quality of your picture anyways, okay? It's nice to have a nice picture, but an iPhone 11 or any 11 onwards, even the 10 probably, is just fine. Maybe even the 8. Did the 8 have 4K video? I think it did. Anyway, yeah, my point is the message is far more important than the video quality. That said, lighting can make an inexpensive camera or an older camera look really good. Okay, good lighting. Bad lighting can make an expensive camera look horrible. So lighting is way more important than how much money you spend on a camera. So make sure your face is lit up if you're in your videos. Like point lights to you. If you're outside, don't put the sun behind you. Put the sun, or you don't move the sun, move yourself so the sun is there or there somewhere in front, not behind, because otherwise your face will be in the shadows. And on a lesser quality phone, that will look even worse, right? So just some things to keep in mind. But, oh, congrats, Todd, and thank you again. Appreciate that. All righty. Time to take a drink. Oh, you said you never knew for the longest time that the iPhone 11 has 4K? Cool. I never had the 11, so I skipped that one. And I wasn't making videos. What? I went from the 8 to the 12, I think. But it was the 14 before I actually started making videos with my iPhone. But I could have done it with... I wasn't making YouTube videos when I had the 8 or the 12. All righty. What else we got here? 4K versus HD, Georgia fan says. I don't know if that's a question or if you're answering somebody else. I film mine in 4K. HD is fine though, but I film mine in 4K. Just all I'm thinking is, I do know a lot of people watch my videos on TVs, and TVs tend to be bigger, and on a big screen like that, you can tell the difference between 4K and 1080p. On a phone, you can't tell the difference between the two. So if most of your viewers are watching on their mobile phones, then 1080p is probably just fine. Using my rear camera instead of the front camera made a huge difference in my quality. Thank you for the video on that. Yeah, it's unbelievable, actually, the difference. The rear camera is a whole lot better on the iPhone anyways. This here is a whole lot better than the camera over here. But a lot of people are concerned, like if I hold my camera like this, how do I know if I'm in frame? Is the biggest concern. And the short answer is you don't. but the longer answer is, does it really matter? Well, maybe sometimes, but practice. Just practice. You can do a test video, film yourself. This is just a test. I want to see if I'm holding it like this or this, like what works. And then, stop the test, watch it. Okay, do another test. Am I in frame now? This is the way I think I want to hold it. Am I holding it too close to me, or is it better if my arm is straight like this or in tighter like this? Stop the test, watch it back, and then decide from there how to hold it. But that said, when you start making a video like that, like a walk and talk video, people aren't going to care if you followed a frame that much, right? They're going to be listening to you more than they're going to be watching you. They're going to be watching your background move. If the top part of your head is cut off for a little bit, nobody cares. It doesn't matter. It's all good. Lily says the iPhone 17 has a improved front camera. I heard that was coming. Did they announce that yet? And we have another super chat. Chronic pain into power. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for your generous tip. Thank you. And you have a question. Hey, Rob, does it affect anything to watch your own content? Thanks so much. I wouldn't think so. I mean, I did that in the beginning, and I don't think it matters at all. YouTube knows who's watching your videos. So if you watch your own videos, YouTube knows that it's you. That's not going to skew your videos. I wouldn't think that it would. So yeah, I wouldn't worry about that too much. I would maybe watch your video just for the sake of making sure that that you didn't miss anything in the edit or things like that, right? And if you find a mistake, if you're one of the first people to watch it, you can decide, oh crap, I did that wrong. Delete it and then fix it and then upload it again. So I have done that. So that would be the only reason. But thank you. I appreciate that. Kinda Carnivore. This is so helpful for newbies like me. I'm 2 weeks in. Good luck with it. Have fun. Have fun. That's the most important thing, guys. You have to enjoy this. Too many people, I think, start YouTube for the wrong reasons. They hear, oh, I can make a lot of money with YouTube. I want to do that. But maybe they don't even like making videos, or they don't like editing videos, or maybe they don't know how to and they have no interest in learning. Well, then YouTube's not for you. You really have to enjoy the whole thing. And if you don't, try to find a way to enjoy it, or maybe it's just not for that person, right? So enjoy it, like have fun. Try not to get bogged down in the stats too much. Like if you post a video, it got 0 views. A week later, 1 view, right? Or none even. Don't worry about it. Like the best thing to do when you upload a video and you see, it's not getting the results, or even if it is, whatever, the best thing to do once you've uploaded a video is to start working on your next one, if you have time, right? Don't worry about, I look at my analytics too much, and I know that. I've always been kind of a stats freak. I like that kind of stuff, so that's just me. But, it's unnecessary. It's nice to look for some trends, once you start getting some stats in there, like you can see what thumbnails are working better than others. But quite honestly, all of looking at the stats like that, all that I do when it comes to looking at stats, it's not, I don't do that so that I can then go back and change a title that's not working or change a thumbnail. That's not why I look at the stats. I never go back and change titles and thumbnails, right? If I upload sometimes I'll upload more than one thumbnail and I'll do the test to try to figure out which one's working. But no, what I try to do is figure out what's working and what's not and apply that going forward to my next video or next videos, right? That's all. That's why I look at my stats. What can why didn't that video do so well? Or why did that video do so well? Try to figure that out and apply your learnings going forward. So there you go. The chats are coming in fast and furious. Me too, Rob. Me too. What else we got here? Do you have to be regular with the frequency of posting? Like if it jumps from weekly to bi-weekly, is that okay? Just do what you can do. It is okay. I mean, it depends. It depends on the channel, quite honestly. It depends on what your viewers have come to expect from you. they do say that the more consistent you can be with your posting, the better. So there was a time I was posting a new video every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I did that for many months. And that was great. And people came to expect that. But then, if I missed a Friday, quite often I'd find that the Monday one, the next Monday one would do a little bit better. Like, is it because people missed me, right? Or is it because the content of that video was a little bit better? It could have been either, right? So, you can look at the two videos and maybe decide, well, do you think that content was better? If you think it wasn't and it still did better, well, then maybe there's some validity to the fact that people were just waiting for another video from you. But yeah, so I wouldn't worry about that too much, but try to be as consistent as you can. And if you have to change it up and go from 2 videos a week to 1 or 1 every 2 weeks, then do that. It's all good. All right. What else? Let me just, did Georgia say 99 likes? Is that what we have in here? Awesome. I see 102 now. Awesome. We got 141 people in here right now. Awesome. That is great. Appreciate all of you. I hope you're getting some value out of this. Do you guys like that? Like, there used to be a time that I mostly did demonstrations in video editing, but I feel like now most of the people watching my videos aren't necessarily using the same editing program I use, so maybe they don't want to see me do that. So mostly I'm just taking whatever questions you guys throw at me, unless I hear differently from a lot of you. Escaping the suburbs. I really don't think it hurts anything to play your own video to look at things, but you can also watch it from within the details page in Studio if you want. Yep, yes you can. What is the best time to post videos? Heartily happy. That would be different for each creator. So you can look at what the best time is for you in your YouTube Studio. I will show you. Let's see. Once I find it here. Yeah. Let me share my screen. All right, so, I've still got that on this screen. So here we go. So here's my YouTube Studio. I've gone to Analytics and then Audience. Okay, go to the Audience tab. And this is for the whole channel, not just for a video. And if you scroll down right here, when your viewers are on YouTube. Okay, you see that? Can you guys see my cursor? Because I don't see it in Ecamm. Anyway. Oh, here it is. I had to click. All right, so right here, when your viewers are on YouTube. So the way this works is the darker the color, the more people are watching your videos at that time. So for me, on Sundays, it's noon. It's noon for me is when they start. Most people are starting to watch my videos. So the dark purple is when people are up. So what I tend to do, if I'm going to post a video on Monday, let's say, I'll go here and I'll look. Okay, it looks like people are starting to come on, maybe 9 a.m., 10 a.m., right, is when a good portion of, and this is my time, my local time. This will show it to you in your local time, all right? So I would want to post my videos around here. So anywhere from 9 a.m. till noon, right? And then, so the first several hours of my video being available, it's going through all these purple people, right? So, look at your own graph. It could be different it will be different for everybody. So for you, it's going to depend on where in the world you are, actually more accurately, where in the world your viewers are, okay? And when are they up? When are they watching YouTube? Your viewers, okay? So this graph looks different for everybody. There you go. What else do we have? Oh, you don't have enough views yet to get that? That's right. Yeah, I think it'll come, though. It'll come. Keep making videos. Keep making videos and it'll come. Is there a creator focusing on how to help meditation channels, which seem to be different in thumbnails, hooks and such? I have a sound bath meditation channel. I don't know the answer to that. I'm sure there probably is. You'd have to do a search, but I'm not sure. I post 3 times a day because I do a weather channel. Oh, interesting. Very good. DG Outdoors channel. Hi, Rob. Hello, DG Outdoors channel. Thanks for stopping in. Four Seasons Travel. Have you had any luck with giveaways? Drop a comment below telling me, and we'll randomly draw for gift card, etc. If so, what random comment selector would you recommend? So I've only ever done that once. So it was my 100th live stream show, which was around a month ago now, I think. I did a bunch of draws. I gave away some courses, some coaching calls, and I used a program called Nightbot. I think that's what it was called, Nightbot.ai maybe, or .io. And you sign up for, well, it was free. Signed up for that. You connect it to your YouTube channel, and then you can assign a keyword in Nightbot, and you tell everybody in your chat, okay, if you want to, I'm about to draw for a free coaching call. Anybody who's interested, enter the word peanut, right? Okay, I'm not doing this right now, but I'm just saying, if that's the word I typed in, then Nightbot would start populating that, draw with all the people who then enter that word. Okay, and then I put a timer on. I'd count down from a minute, and then after a minute, I would click, okay, choose a winner, and Nightbot would pick the winner. Okay, and that was fun. If you want to look back at my 100th live stream, the thumbnail looks a little different because I had like a party hat on Peanut and sunglasses on her and stuff like that. But you can watch some of that. You'll see how that went. I think it was 3 hours long, and I did like 10 different draws throughout that show. It was fun. So yeah, that's what I've done. And it was a lot of fun. Where is that storm in the Atlantic heading? I'm on the East Coast near Palm Beach. You know what? Let's figure it out. Let's figure it out. Let's go. I'm going to share my screen. Let's figure it out. Here is the National Hurricane Center. And here, so this is just a disturbance. This is it's a tropical storm, Erin. It's not a hurricane yet. You can click for details. Let's click on that. And this is what let me click. Oh, can I click that? No. Up here. Click this. That's where it is. That's where it is right now. So SSSSH is when it turns into a hurricane. HHM is major hurricane. Okay, let me just scroll down here. So yeah, they don't know. So by Sunday, they think it'll be here. It looks like it's kind of going toward, but I mean, anything can happen to this. It could go sneak into the Gulf. It could, go here. It could go there. It could go up here and turn, right? We just don't know. And here's where I am, right up here. And I think, was it you, Cheryl, that asked this? Cheryl, if I recall, you're in Florida. If that's the case, you're here. So who knows? All I know is we need rain here, but I don't want hurricane wind. So if this could go up here and just kind of stay offshore, and then poof, and then it kind of dies when it goes off the top of the globe. That's what usually happens. And miss you guys and miss us and just go off like that. Maybe it comes close enough to us to give us a whole bunch of rain, but no hurricane winds. That's what I'm hoping for. So there you go. Whoever said that they were a weathercaster, there's my little weather synopsis. What is your passion? Make that your channel. Absolutely. Great advice for whoever asked that. Great advice. Here's a question. New channel. I plan to incorporate some info about living with a chronic illness, but searching for living with MS has barely any recent results. No audience or filling a gap. I mean, no audience. I would say, you know what? Anything health related like that, I think, if you're up for it, I think there is a huge demand for that. Because if you could just imagine anybody who gets a diagnosis of MS, let's say, to use your example, what do you think they're going to do? If I got that diagnosis, I'd come home and I'd go to YouTube and I'd start searching. Okay, what am I going to expect? What can I expect? How do I deal with this, that, and the other thing? Like, I don't know anything about it, but I would start searching on the internet. And for me, that means going to YouTube. I mean, Google is a search engine, sure. Google is the second largest search engine in the world. No, first. Google's the largest search engine in the world. YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world, and Google owns YouTube. Or actually, Alphabet owns them both, but you know what I mean. That's what I would do. So because of that, I would think there's a lot of people out there who would love to know some information about this. So, if you have a health issue you're dealing with, and you feel like you can document that and document it in a way that maybe helps people who may be getting a diagnosis, maybe that you got already, kind of thing. Help other people who are about to go through what you're going through, kind of thing. I think there's a huge demand for videos like that. Whatever it is, doesn't even have to be health related. It can be, well, we're talking about health here, but so that's what I would do. I would say absolutely there's an audience out there for that. It'd be up to you, though, to make content people want to watch. And the more helpful you can make that content, the more success you'd have. Same kind of thing would apply to somebody who wants to build a house. They don't know how to build a house, but they're about to build a house. They're going to search for people who have just built a house. How did it go? How do you deal with contractors? How do you do, you know what I mean? So you just have to be a few steps ahead of somebody else to be able to help that other person. Okay, so absolutely. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Getting thirsty. It's 5 to 4. I'll be here for at least another half an hour. How's that? Sophia says we had 37 degrees this afternoon in the south of Portugal. Too hot. That is hot. We have 30 degrees here in Halifax, in Nova Scotia, and that's too hot. I think 30 is around 80 degrees Fahrenheit for those of you in the States. Too hot for me, but it's humid here too. It's probably humid in Portugal too. You're by the ocean. Oh, what happened? You guys still here? That disappeared on me. Still here? Am I still live? I hope so. Here, let's pop my chat disappeared. Let's pop that out again. Oh, it looks like it's still working. All right, let's pop those 3 Qs in here and see what I might have missed. Okay, I got that one. Oh, just got another super chat. Chaito, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I have too many passions, she says. Animals and gardening, gaming and singing. I had to make 3 channels because they are totally different. Yeah, I get that. That's too many passions. I mean, that can't be a bad thing. I mean, yeah, you can create 3 channels or 4 and, cycle through them. I mean, I think it would be harder to grow 3 channels or even 2 channels than 1. But if you're not sure where you want to go with this, if maybe growing a channel isn't your primary concern, maybe you just want to make videos of these 3 different things that you want to make videos about. And in that case, yeah, 3 channels and make your videos, and that's great. But if you see one start to take off, then maybe, if it were me, because I'm kind of business minded, right? I would if one is outperforming the others, I would focus on that one. And then when I had time, I would post on the other ones too. But that's what I would do. If one starts to take off, then I'd probably double down on that one, put more time and effort into that one, because audience, subscribers are coming in. So they're going to want to see more videos, make more videos for them. Yeah, so that's what I would do. But yeah, good problem to have. Too many passions. Love it. Question, you have the Stream Deck program to trigger that boat animation and sound effect in Ecamm. I do. And I just filmed a video that's going to be in that live streaming course on how I made that. I can give you a sneak peek. Let me give you a sneak peek. I'm not going to say, oh, you got to wait for the course. You're going to have to buy the course to find that out. No, I'm going to show you right now. If I can find, where's my Finder window? Here we go. Let's, Beginner's Guide to Live Streaming, Super Chat Animation. Let's launch my Camtasia file. So, where is it? Didn't I double click? There we go. Oh, it's opening. It's opening. Okay. No, that's not what I wanted. That's the video of me making the animation. I want the actual animation video, the sample project. Here we go. Converted. There we go. Double click that. All right. Here it is. Okay, so let me share this with you. Okay, here's my Camtasia file, my project file for the, you know what I have to show you first? First, I have to show you this. No, this. Okay, this right here. So, okay, this is Canva. All right, so the first thing I did, here's the boat, the Super Chat boat, and here are the waves. Those are just images I got from Canva, and I put them in a file, like on a canvas here, and I exported that image, okay, with transparency, so that you don't see white back here. That's just transparent. All right, so that was step one. Now let me go back to Camtasia. So in Camtasia, I brought that file in, and there it is, right up here. Now down here, I brought it in, what's the best way to explain this? Well, here, let me just play this. Okay, I built that in Camtasia. So basically, I separated the waves in the boat. So this is one of them, and that is one of them. These arrows here are the animations. Okay, this here is the foghorn sound, and I made it happen twice. So there it is again. This is the text that pops up and then kind of moves around. And then this, what is that? Oh, that's the background noise, the seagulls. Right? You can hardly hear them. Okay, so then I export that. I export that as a video. So let me close this now. Don't save that. Don't save that. I'm not going to be able to show you what. Okay, I'll have to explain it. Yeah, I can't share my screen that has Ecamm on it because it won't show that. I don't think so, anyways. No. Anyway, so what I do, I bring that into Ecamm Live, and then you notice how there was a green screen behind it? You can key that out in Ecamm Live. You apply the green screen effect, and it will make the green disappear, and that's why I can do that. Let's just do it again. I then assigned it to a button on the Stream Deck, or I can just click on that scene, or that overlay, sorry, in Ecamm. But if I press the button, there. And this is where the green was, but I've keyed the green out. Okay? That's how you do it. Or in the course, you can watch the 30-minute video that walks you through everything. All righty. YouTube over 40. Karen is in the house. How you doing, Karen? Good to see you again. For those who missed it, I was in Karen's live stream last night. That was a lot of fun. So Karen goes live quite often, once or twice a week, I think. And yeah, she had several people in a panel on her channel, and I was one of them, and it was a Q&A, and it was a lot of fun. So thank you again for that, Karen. And anybody else, if you ever want to go live, let me know, and I may pop into your chat. Because I like doing that. I like surprising people and showing up. All right. Nice. Miss Biz. How you doing, Miss Biz? Good to see you. BJB. Here's a question. Warsha. Which is better for hiking channel? Giving tips and guides while hiking or vlogging my hikes and showing the view while explaining that specific mountain. I feel like people like to see the creators a lot, but honestly, it really depends on what your message is. I mean, I would like a mix. Like if I was going to do a hiking video, I wouldn't make a video just about hiking. I would think of a topic to talk about during the hike. Okay, that's the way I would do that. And then for a lot of it, the camera would be on me while I'm doing my talk. But then I would also, like if I'm walking, if I say, oh, look at this view, it's beautiful. And I would turn my camera around and I'd show that. And then I'd come back to myself and I continue my talk. But then before and after that video, I would take other video, like B-roll of maybe my feet walking, maybe, some flowers or some trees or the mountains or a lake or whatever. And then you can use those B-roll shots, add them into your hiking video. That's the way I would do it. I don't know, like, unless your channel, I guess, is about, travel and a specific place that people might be searching for information on that place. If that's the case, then you could make a video about hiking that place. But if not, then I don't know. I feel like if you can make a video on whatever topic you want to talk about, come up with a topic to talk about, and then talk about that on your hike, then you're kind of doing two things. That's two different audiences you could be reaching. And it's also a creative way to keep people watching your video if they're more interested in the hiking than what you're talking about, right? Or vice versa, right? So that's what I would do. Alrighty. Let me see what's going on. What else we got here? It's a video snippet. Yes, that's what the super chat is. Video overlay, I guess, is officially what it is. I add it to an overlay that I could then add to any scene that I'm on. Let's see. Here's a good question. Silver lining life. Other than Q&A, what other things do well on live, especially for someone with under 100 subs and very low views? Yeah, so if you're just getting started, if you have under 100 subs and low views, then yeah, Q&A is hard because you may not get many or any people to your first live, and I get that, and we all start there. But I wouldn't let that stop you from doing a live. What I would do, oh, that camera's done. What I would do is I would have something prepared to talk about, either something prepared to talk about or something prepared that you can demonstrate. So with me, I use software to edit videos. That's how I started my live streams. I would demonstrate something. I would pick a topic for Tuesday's live stream, and I would say, okay, on the live stream, I'm going to show people how to create a super chat animation, for example, right? And then I might even write down a couple points on a piece of paper to be prepared so I know what to go through. I might also write down 4 or 5 questions that I could answer in case nobody shows up and asks me questions, okay? So those are the kinds of things you could do. So yeah, basically, if you're starting a channel and if you're putting yourself out there in your videos, and if you're talking to the camera and you're talking to your audience and your viewers, and if you're doing that and you're starting to get subscribers, then by going live, you're giving your viewers another way to connect with you, right? So before you go live, how do they connect with you? Well, they can leave you a comment on your videos. They may ask you a question. They may just leave a comment. You can answer questions and you can thank them for comments or whatever, right? It's important, I think, to respond to as many comments and questions as you can, because that, think of your viewers as, they're potential friends, your audience. Like, treat them with respect, basically. So anyways, so that's one way to connect with them. The next best way is if you put yourself out there and make yourself available to them so they can actually see you live. People love that, especially a creator that they've subscribed to. Now they're going to go live and I can maybe ask them a question in real time and have her answer right away. Awesome. That's awesome. So people like that. So if you can just make yourself available, and yeah, the first couple times, maybe you have to do a little bit of homework ahead of time just to make sure you have something to talk about. And I mean, talk about your journey, right? That's a good idea. Your first live stream, you can talk about the fact that it's your first live stream. And were you nervous starting it? And how did you prepare for it? And you know what I mean? That could be a topic right there. And then you just talk about it. And then if people show up, you won't know who shows up to your lives unless they leave a chat message in the live chat. Okay, that's when you'll see a username. But before then, you will see how many people are in the live chat. Okay, you don't know who they are, but you might see, oh, there's 4 people in here watching. So if you notice that, you can say something like, I see we got 4 people in here. Why don't you let me know where you're watching from and what your name is? Love to hear from you. Right? You can start off that way. And then, hopefully, you'll start getting some live chats. If and when you do get live chats, acknowledge them. Right? Like say, and I have to apologize, I'm not able to acknowledge everybody in this live chat just because there's 148 of you in here right now, which is amazing, but it means I can't answer everybody, unfortunately. But there was a time that I was able to. And so if you can, like, acknowledge everybody. Say, oh, Karen, it's great to see you here. How's the weather in New Zealand? Right? Like, and, just try to get a conversation going, knowing that you're kind of the host. And ask people if you see people are in there, so asking them who they are and where they're watching from, that's one thing you could say. You could ask them, so whatever, it depends on what your content is about, what your plan was for your live stream, but you can ask them, what would you like to, is there anything you'd like to see me demonstrate or whatever, right? Like just try to encourage the conversation. And the more you can do that, the more people will like it, the more active your live chat will be, the more new people will see that activity when they show up, they may subscribe, and it just snowballs, okay? My first one a year ago had 4 people in my live stream. That was March of 2024, March 18th, I think. It was late March. The next one had 7 people. The next one had 12. And then it kind of fluctuated, but basically over time, it just kept increasing. So there you go. I just see a comment waiting on my question. Sorry, BJB. I don't know what your question was. Let me type 3 Q's in here to see if it shows up. Yes, there we go. Apologies. I do miss a lot of questions because I talk too much and because there's just a lot of you. I do vlogs and shorts and occasionally edit my video, gets less than 50 views. My regular shorts get 20 to 1,000 views. My edits get 1 to 2,000 views. So should I just do edits? I don't understand your question. I do vlogs and shorts and occasionally edit my video. Should I just do edits? I'm sorry, I don't know what you mean by that. Maybe you can explain what you mean. Should you just do what? I mean, I can answer your question in general terms. Do more of what works, right? Whether it's long form or short form. They're 2 different games, long form and short form. So I would pick one, focus on it, whichever one you feel like you're better at, and just focus on getting better at that one is what I would do. I hope that helps. Yes, as Catherine says, put 3 Q's in front of your question and I may be able to see it. Lucy on leadership. How many subscribers did you have when you first started the lives? I've only got 11 currently. I think I was 300 and some, but people start well before that. You don't have to wait. If you have 11 subscribers, I would start now. I honestly would. It can really kickstart your channel. It's the case of 1 plus, like videos and lives. 1 + 1 equals like 5. Your channel can grow so much quicker if you do both, because they'll feed off of one another, and it's easier to build a community that way. So, plus doing live streams is fantastic practice for talking to the camera, like what I'm doing right here. It's just me in this room. I'm talking to the camera. I'm looking at things, my screens, and looking up at you and addressing the camera. So it's great practice for that. It really is. What if I don't have a moderator for my live? I don't even know if I have one in here. I have one moderator, and he's here sometimes, and I think he was here to start, Prodigal Aquarist. But yeah, if you don't, then I wouldn't worry about it. I didn't have one for the longest time. And, if comments start coming in from somebody who should be blocked, I will eventually notice it and I'll block them, right? Or some of you have mentioned it to me in the past. Rob, I think there's somebody in here that needs to be blocked. And I'll think, oh, really? And I'll go looking, oh, yeah, that one there, and I can block it right away. So I don't think it's a big deal. You can just kind of go with the flow. Like, it's the kind of thing that it's another case of things don't have to be perfect. And if you show up and things aren't perfect and there's a few little warts on your live stream like that, it's okay. I think your viewers will understand, and they're forgiving. Like you guys are forgiving to me if I mess up. So yeah, wouldn't worry about it too much. Chaito, how can I let you know when I go on my first live? You can shoot me an email, workwith@robthemaritimer.com. You can let me know in the comments. You can let me know here in the live stream. Yeah, that'd be cool. Email is probably the best way. If any of you want to go live and want to let me know, I can't promise I can drop in on all of your lives. If I get like 20 of you or 100 of you saying we're going live tomorrow, that won't work. But if I'm able to, I'd love to pop in and see any of you guys do this, and perhaps maybe even help you out. That made me laugh. Love your head, Rob. There you go. Thank you. I like it too. It's the only one I got, though. I need your help here. How can I invite other creators to join me in a live, and how many subs do I need to go live from a desktop? To go live from a desktop, you don't need any subs. There's no requirement. It's only if you want to go live from your phone that you need 50 subscribers. But if you want to go live from your computer, there isn't that requirement. You can go live with 5 subs. I don't think you need any. How can you invite other creators? You can reach out to them. You can, if you start to get to know people in here in my live chat. So wherever you hang out with other creators, okay? So if it's here in my lives, you can let people know in here. Hey, guys, I'm going live tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern time or whatever. You might get people looking up your channel, and they'll find you and they'll go in. That's probably the easiest way. You could reach out directly to people if you go to a creator's channel, and if they have their email address displayed there, like I have on mine, and you can email them and let them know that way. And I think what you should do is you should post about it. If you can post a community post in your channel and just say, hey guys, I'm going live next week at whatever. Like I would, if you can, I would try to advertise it maybe up to a week in advance if you've never gone live before. Maybe not in a post a week in advance, but maybe make a video, do one of your videos, and at the end of that video, just say, or even at the beginning, right? This is a special time. Like, before I get into this video, guys, just so you know, next week on this date, I'm going to be going live. My first live ever. Fingers crossed it goes well. If you want to show up and see me mess up, I hope to see you then. Now let's get into the video, right? You could do something like that. You can do that in 1 or 2 videos leading up to your live. But then maybe the day before or the day of, write in a community post and just say, I'm going live today. Here's the time. I hope to see you there. So those are some things you could do. Maybe that will help. Can you explain what a vlog is? I'm doing on location talking head videos. I usually pick a spot and talk, sometimes move the camera so I can show something in my view, then jump to a new spot. Well, I don't know. Like vlog is, I think it's a misused term. I shouldn't say misused. It's a term that's used for a couple of different things. Like when I think vlog, I think if somebody brings their camera along while they're just living life. And it might be a vlog about like a day in my life living in New York City, for example, right? That would be a vlog. You're showing like showing me waking up in the morning, making my coffee, making my breakfast, going for a walk, buying lunch or whatever, just day-to-day stuff. That would be like a vlog. Or van life type of websites might be vlogging as they're going to visit a park or something, right? I think technically a vlog is like, it comes from blog, a bibliography, but V for video. It's a video documentary, I guess, right? But I mean, some would argue that my videos are vlogs, where I'm just sitting on the dock or going for a walk on the trail. Could be a vlog. But the way I look at it is my videos I'm not just going for a walk and showing you the trail. Like, oh, here's what's on this part of the trail, and now it's this part of the trail. Now I'm going to stop and have lunch. Now I'm doing this. Instead, I feel like I'm actually talking about something specific, like hopefully helping you with something that you've searched for and found my video. So, some people might call my videos vlogs, but I don't consider them vlogs. So anyway, you probably get a different answer depending on who you ask. But that's my take on it. Hey, Rob, does anybody have a mailing list we can subscribe to in order to know when some of these new folks are going live so we can attend? It's not something I run, a mailing list like that. So no, I don't know. You would just have to just start taking notes, write down usernames that people say they're going live, and try to join them is what I would do. How are you searching for the cues? Is it just eyeballing them, or are you using a tool? A little bit of both. There is a tool in Ecamm Live. There is a search bar where the chats come in, and I can search for just the cues. So I'm actually looking at two chats. I'm looking at the Ecamm one and then the main one on YouTube. Okay, so yeah, but that does help. Average Mo, and he said, "Oh no, I missed a super chat. Lori is in the house. Let me. Sorry, Average Mo. I'll come back to you, but I have to acknowledge Lori if I can find it. Where? There we go. There we go. Super chat, Lori. Thank you, Lori. I really appreciate that. Oh, and no question. Okay, that was easy. Just a thank you. My pleasure, Lori. I hope you are enjoying and learning from these live streams and these videos. I appreciate all you guys. Thank you very much. But yeah, thank you, Lori. Very kind of you. Let's see, where am I? Wow, I haven't scheduled a live. Like a Casey Neistat vlog thing? Yeah. Casey Neistat makes vlog. Been a long time since I've seen a Casey Neistat video. I know he's very popular. Escaping the suburbs. I'm old enough to remember what blog stands for. Some people might not know. There's a question. Okay, that's right. Let me put my cues back in again. Where is that? Do you do the buy me a coffee thing, and is that only worth it to set up later in the channel's life? I don't do that. Instead, I have activated super chats in YouTube. So that's the way I do it. Now, just so you know, with YouTube, YouTube keeps 30% of whatever super chats are donated, okay? And they pay me 70%. With Buy Me a Coffee, they don't keep as much, but people have to go off of the YouTube platform to do that. So one could argue, since YouTube is right in the platform, it's a little bit easier, right? So there's pros and cons there. But yeah, in terms of, I would say, yeah, I don't think I would set that up very early. I'd probably even wait till you're monetized. You don't have to, though. You can set it up at any time. Some people sell stuff through Buy Me a Coffee, like digital downloads and things like that. Like if you support me at a certain, what was I saying? Oh, I just got a text about smoke in the area. I hope there's no fire coming this way. I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Buy me a coffee. Yeah, some people will attach digital downloads to a Buy Me a Coffee account. So, from the mall. Yeah, so you can do it that way. If you don't have another payment processor, you can use Buy Me a Coffee as a payment processor. So, you know what, guys? 1 second. I'm going to put that on the phone. I'm going to show you the peanut cam just for a second. I'll be right back. Okay. I'm back. No, I don't see any smoke. But my this needs to be reloaded again. Sorry about that, guys. Let me pop this chat out again. Yeah, no, I got a text from my daughter. Says, "Can you see that smoke?" And I'm like, "What?" All right. But no, I don't think there's any fire coming this way. Yeah, hello, Peanut. Peanut hasn't moved. All right, where was I? Is everything okay, Sophia? Yes, everything is fine. Everything is fine. Yeah, she's not here. There's lots of fires around. Like there's a lot of, everything is so dry here. Yeah, that's why we're not allowed to go in the woods. But I mean, 2 years ago, there was a huge fire in Tantallon, which is not far from here. And it was, I guess you can call it suburbs of Halifax, like half an hour outside of Halifax. But the lots were fairly large. Like every house has an acre of land in that area. But 200 homes burnt down. It was bad. A lot of people we knew lost their homes. Not close to here, but close enough, like 10 kilometers away. But the winds were going the other way, and we could see the smoke. So anyway, I just had flashbacks of that. It's like, okay, nothing's coming this way, is it? Because the woods are right behind me. I got the ocean on one side of me and woods behind me. So yeah, if the fire comes this way, I jump in a boat and go that way. I shouldn't be laughing. It's not a laughing matter. All right, your audio is great, even though there's no mic visible in the frame. I have to pull my mic up over my face. Yeah, well, my mic is right there. So yeah, this will show you how close it is to me. It's right here. That's the mic I'm using, okay? And yeah, so it's nice and close. I have it just out of frame, and this is the test I always do. I will do this. I'd put my finger up like this, and I would look in. Actually, that's way higher than it has to be. That's right, because I switched lenses. So it's way up there, and I could bring it down to here. So yeah, I could bring this down. Just bend that down like this, right there, okay? Anyway, I usually have it so that it's just out of the frame, like there. Yeah, so it's about an inch above the frame, is the way I do that. So yeah, because the closer you are to the mic, the better you will sound. Okay, right? Because then the mic is only picking up your voice. And the further away you get, the more echo you will hear because of the room. But yeah, that's why I love a shotgun mic like this. If you have a podcast mic, then you really do have to put it like right up to your mouth. They're better mics, but you have to put it right up to your mouth. And I don't personally like, for me, I don't like the look when the mic is in frame. I like it out of the frame. It's just a little bit more natural. I can't get around that when I'm outside filming because I use that DJI mic, and you can see it here, but that's okay. In the wintertime, I put it under my sweater. You can't see it then. What's the make and the model of the microphone? This is a Synco Mic D2. Let's see if I can find that. It's like 4 years ago. Oh, maybe it's still there. Yep, there it is right there. So, the screen. So Amazon, right there. See, purchased February 2021. So I've had it over 4 years. It's that one right there. Now, this price here, that's Canadian dollars, so it's less than that in US, probably, I don't know, 220 bucks or something. And it's that mic. Yeah, that's it. It needs to plug in, though. It's an XLR mic, right? It has an XLR connection. To show that, it's this here, okay? XLR connection. So it needs to plug into an audio interface, and that would be the Scarlett 2i2 is the audio interface that I have. This right here, 2i2. That's 4th generation, so mine's a little bit older than that. But actually, it looks like this one. Okay, and then my mic just plugs in right there, right into the front of it. And if I move my drink and show you with the phone again. So yeah, the mic, that's the XLR connection there. And then that wire goes all the way down there, down to the floor, and then back up and plugs in right there. And then this itself is what this is plugged into the dock. Okay, that's the way I have mine plugged in because see these 2 cam links? Those are my 2 cameras, right? That camera and that camera where the battery died. Those are those 2 cameras, and then that's just power. And then over here I've got, that's the dock. That is this. And I explain all that in these videos I'm making about how to set all this up. So, and in the back of that dock, you can see here, so that's the dock plugged in. No, that's this plugged in. HDMI. Okay, so in the back of that dock is an HDMI cable for this monitor. All right, so there you go. There you go. You ask one question, you get 6 answers. There you go. Why not hang the mic right over you? I just don't want you to see it. That's all. I could bring, if I brought it closer, the closer I bring the mic to me, the higher I would have to put it. Okay? I want the mic to point to my mouth. If I had it right over me, I suppose I could and point it straight down. I suppose I could do that. It's one of those things. You can play with it. You can play with it in different locations. You know, when I used to do a lot of voiceovers for other people's videos, I would put this mic here. Let's pretend this is a mic. All right. What I would do if this was the mic when I was doing a voiceover. So right now it's up here, right? It's up like here, pointed. It's pointed towards my mouth. Okay. But when I did a voiceover, I wouldn't have it right up here. I would actually put it off to the side and kind of talk past it. Okay. Because anytime you like p or b, those sounds where you're basically blasting out air as you talk, if that goes directly into the mic like this, that's when you're going to get, they're called plosives, and they don't sound good. It maxes out the mic and you get distortion. So to avoid that, you put on like either a dead cat, because it's the same as wind outside. So you'd put a dead cat, wind guard, or wind shield, some people call it. You put that over it, but I just find this works best too if it's right beside you. And I used to do videos where the mic was right here. I just don't like that look. So I sacrifice some quality in the sound by putting it up and out of frame, but I still think it sounds okay. It sounds okay enough. Like I'm not doing a voiceover here, so there you go. Do you use a dummy battery in your camera to keep the battery from dying? I do. There's a dummy battery in this camera. Right there. In fact, I have if if you look underneath, can I show this? Yeah, there, see that wire sticking out of the camera right there? That is from the dummy battery. And I have the battery door open. This is the battery door. I just have it open, leave it open, and that goes and plugs into the wall. This wire on the other side is my HDMI out. It's like a little, like an HDMI mini or micro, I forget what it's called, but it's got that little adapter wire, and then that is a full-size HDMI cable, and that goes all the way to here. Okay, plugs into the cam link, and then that's USB. USB, but this is USB-C, so I needed this little adapter too. So there you go. There you go. There you go. The iPhone, right? As you see me holding it up. Like this is what I'm showing you everything on this iPhone with this camera. Is wireless. It's not plugged into this, but that's the beauty of using an iPhone with a MacBook. They're both Apple, and you can easily use this as a webcam for your MacBook. So I can use this in Zoom calls. I can use this in eCam for live streams like this. So I have two cameras plugged in there that I can cycle through. And then this, whoops, I hit the super chat button. This is my third camera. So 3 camera angles, one of which is wireless. So that's what I love about doing everything with Apple. All right, where are we at? Where are we? Silver Lining Life, do you have a regular day or time for your lives? I do. This is my regular time. So every week, Tuesday, at the same time this was. So 1 p.m. Eastern time. I don't know where in the world you are, but 1 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock here locally in Nova Scotia. That's when I go live every week for at least 2 hours, sometimes 3. We're coming up on 3 today, but I am going to have to leave at the top of the hour again today. So 25 more minutes max, then I'm out of here. Hope that's okay. Yeah. Oh, someone says, hey, Riva. Riva's in the house. How you doing, Riva? Good to see you. Riva was in on the on Karen's live stream last night. That was a lot of fun. All right, so now I'm current on the. I'm going to try to stay current with the current chat now for the last 25 minutes or so. Let's see, Fitness with Barbara's in the house. Hi. Hey, Riva. Hi, Riva. Riva, where is Riva? There's Riva. Hey, Karen, and everyone in the chat. How you doing, Riva? You do a great job monitoring the chat. It's hard. It is hard, and thank you for saying that, but I've been called out in the past for missing people's questions. It happens. It happens. I do what I can. Peanut's ears are hurting whenever Rob says dead cat. Yeah. No, she's still sleeping, though. Yeah. Sabrine uses the iPhone. I love the iPhone. Not to say, I mean, Samsung, I've heard, has got some really good cameras in their phones. Some say better than iPhone, but I don't know. All right. Happy Wednesday to Catherine. Catherine is here. Like we could stop you. Did I miss something? That might be something that I said. I don't know. Thank you. As a subscriber for less than a week, I have to say you've and your community have been very helpful. Awesome. Happy to hear that. Comfort to confidence. Oh, hey, Rob, you're still live. I am still alive. And you were in last night's live stream too. Awesome. Welcome, fellow Canadian from Quebec. Sorry, Quebec. I said that like an English person. Quebec. It's Quebec. I know that. Je parle un peu de français, mais pas beaucoup. That's about all I know in French. From leaving. Yeah, no, that's right, William. Yeah, no, you can't stop me from leaving. If I've got to leave, I've got to leave. Samsung rocks. Yeah, it's one of those things. I think if you've got a Samsung, you love it. And if you have an iPhone, you love it. I mean, they're both awesome. QQQ. What's the question? QQ. Is the free vidIQ worth it for the data they supply? I think so. I love it. I love the plugin for Chrome. and I demonstrated that a little bit earlier in this live stream. I love that. Very handy. I use an old iPhone 12 and the Osmo Pocket 3. Cool. Very good. The Osmo Pocket 3 looks pretty cool. If I didn't have an iPhone, I'd probably get one of those, but I find my iPhone is all I need for making outdoor videos. Monkey Wrench, how you doing? Good to see you again. Thoughts on Riverside for streaming? I've heard they're good. I've never used them, but I think they're just fine. I think that's another one where you can use them to add live chat messages on the screen. I believe you can do that with Riverside too. So yeah, that is a browser-based system like StreamYard is. So Riverside, I think Restream as well, and StreamYard, those are all browser-based where you have to go use your browser to log in to them and you stream from there. So you would be streaming to the browser or to Riverside, and then Riverside streams to YouTube for you. Whereas what I'm using, Ecamm, works the same way that, say, OBS works, or vMix is another one for Windows. Those are software that you have to download to your computer, and you run them from your computer, and you stream directly to YouTube, not through a middleman. So a couple differences, but yeah, no, I've heard Riverside is a reputable company. If they look like they will do what you want to do, give them a shot. Have you used GoPro cameras at all? I have not. I do have an old one, but I've never used it. But some people do. Rob is the man. I'm a man. But thank you. LOL, it's all good. New here, but your Canva tutorials have been very helpful. Awesome. I'm glad they've helped you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Here's some cues. What specific devices and software will I need to make sewing tutorials? So you need a camera. Well, I guess it depends what kind of... So the first thing that popped into my mind is if you want to video what you're actually doing on, say, a sewing machine, but also your face, I would think you'd want two cameras. One on your face, one on what you're doing, and then you can arrange them and you can edit them together. And then audio to capture your voice. And then video editing software to edit it together. But you can start off with something, you can just use free editing software if you want. CapCut has a free version. DaVinci Resolve has a free version. Yeah, so as long as you have at least one camera you can move around, maybe get your face for the intro, let's say, and then show what you're doing. Top-down cameras sometimes, which would be the same as an iPhone, just on a little boom arm or something. You really have to figure out what you want to show and how you want to show it, and then have a camera in that spot. Can you find my previous question? Attic Treasures. Let me search for your name. Attic. Found it. Boom. This is pretty quick. New YouTuber, Julie from Maine, asking if watching videos similar to my niche helps the algorithm to draw watchers to my video. I have noticed a trend. What say you? So if watching videos similar to my niche helps the algorithm draw watchers to your video, I would say no, it doesn't help. Because it would only help no. YouTube is going to push your videos out to people it thinks wants to watch your videos based on who has already watched your videos, regardless of what you watch yourself on your channel. That has nothing to do with it at all. The only way you might notice a correlation is if you yourself are interested in the exact same thing you're making videos about. But so for me, if I'm making videos on how to edit in Camtasia or how to make videos for YouTube or how to grow a YouTube channel, if those are the videos I'm making, meanwhile, the videos I'm watching are more on the Detroit Lions and football and maybe hockey and sports videos, right? That's fine because I'm not one of my regular viewers. So it doesn't even matter what I watch. Does that make sense? So I hope that helps. Catherine says, I found it helps to interact with comments on those channels in my niche. Yeah, if you watch channels in your own niche and comment on them, then other people who are watching those videos may see your comments and might go check out your channel. And if it's in the same niche of the videos that you make, that could be definitely a good thing. That's a great strategy, actually, to go visit the channel. Like I wouldn't drop in on somebody like a creator's video who they might think of you as a competitor and then go try to steal their subscriber or something. It doesn't even really work that way. But if you're just dropping in and commenting and being part of the conversation, being helpful, that's a great thing to do. Great thing to do. Participate in other communities as well as your own, I think, is a great strategy. All righty. Got 15 more minutes. Here's a question just off the top. If you had $500 to spend on equipment or software and you were a newish channel that had basic everything, what would you upgrade? I'd get that. The DJI mics. It comes with 2 mics, and that's the receiver that plugs into your phone or computer. That's what I would do. No question. I would just use the phone I have for the video, but I'd get a mic like that because I want to film outside. Even if you're filming inside, if you don't have another mic like this, that mic is fine for filming in here. It's just that I happen to have this mic. I had this mic way before I had the outside one. I just bought that last year. So yeah, I'd get a mic. And that's really, that's the only thing you need. Buy a mic, use the phone you have. Okay, so this is not going to cost you $500, but it'll cost you the better part of $200 or $300. I would then take $25 and buy this tripod selfie stick. Right? This thing here is what I use for my outside videos. I don't have the attachment on it right now because I've got my phone on this one. I just find this a little bit handier in my office here. But yeah, I use this to go outside. I think it's $25 US, 30 something Canadian. Yeah, so this and a mic and the phone I already have. And as far as software goes, I would use Canva free. I'd probably use DaVinci Resolve free to edit my videos, Canva for the thumbnails, everything else free. That's all you really need to start. And you can make fantastic videos with the phone you have and audio like this. If you want to make your audio sound even better, you can use a free software called Audacity to level up your audio. So there you go. Good question. I should make a video about that. William bought a used DJI Mic 2, self-contained USB charging for under $100. Wow. Congrats. That's great. The Mic 2 is a little better than mine. Mine is the Mic 1, I guess. They didn't call it that, but it was the first one. But the Mic 2, like the 1, has onboard recording. So each mic has a little hard drive in it, which is awesome. But what yours has that mine doesn't is the 32-bit float. So if the gains are set a little too high by accident, I might end up with clipping, whereas you can adjust that in editing, in post. It's never been an issue for me. I just have my gain set properly, I guess. I've never actually changed the gain settings in my mics. They just worked great right out of the box. Did you know you could buy a Wi-Fi only phone and use it as your second camera on your videos? Yeah, I just never have. But yeah, you can absolutely do that. I've often thought about buying an old iPhone, like a 8 or 12 or something, but not connect it to a phone number or anything and just use it as a camera because it'd be a great second camera. All righty. We got about 10 more minutes. We still have 139 people in here. Awesome. Looks like we topped out at 162, 163. Good day. There's a good question. What's my list of, here it is, to-do videos currently look like? Well, the 4 that we had in this poll, let's take a quick look at that again. So, filming your first YouTube video has jumped back into the lead. 1 percentage point ahead of storage and backup. 339 votes so far. So yeah, the first 3 on this list are all on my to-do list. I want to explain how I deal with my storage, video storage, and backup system. I've got a great system in place now. It's not cheap, but you can do it at different levels. But I'll explain what I do and how I track, how I save all my files, and how I organize them. You don't need to be an expert. That's basically from somebody left me a comment where she said she's concerned, she doesn't know what to make videos about. She doesn't consider herself an expert in anything. What do I make videos about? And my answer is you don't need to be an expert. So I'm going to make a video on that. Filming your first video. What did that feel like? The first time I spoke to the camera. The first time you make a video where you're talking to the camera. What did that feel like during, after, all this stuff? So I want to make a video on that. Yeah, and monetized 1 year later. Like, what has my journey been like since I got monetized? Like, how much money do I actually make from YouTube? Just the YouTube side of it, the AdSense. A lot of people are interested in that, right? So I made a video of what I earned in 2024, right? But I got monetized halfway through that year, right? So I got monetized basically June 1st of 2024. So it's been a year now. So I'm going to make a video to kind of update all that. That's a good point. Escaping the suburbs. Teaching a subject is a great way to learn about it. Absolutely. Dandy Drew, do you work with channels with 20,000 plus subs? I'm not sure what you mean. Do I work with channels with 20,000 subs? I have had coaching calls by people who have that many subscribers, but mostly the people I work with are people who are trying to get started with their channels or maybe are feeling stuck. So I do offer coaching for people who want to have a chat with me and want to get my advice on how to do whatever. Strategy building, business building, things like that. So I do some of that, yeah. Do I have to worry about bears in my neck? Oh, let me switch this here. Do I have to worry about bears in my neck of the woods? Don't have to worry about them. They're there. But we have black bears here, not grizzly bears that they have out west in Alberta and BC. We don't have those black bears. So they can sometimes be a nuisance in people's garbage cans, but you know they're skittish. They don't want to deal with me any more than I want to deal with them. So have I seen them? I have in the distance. In the distance, I've never come across one on the trail. But just because I haven't seen a bear on the trail doesn't mean the bears haven't seen me. That's what I often say that. If I go for a walk, I've seen bobcats. I've seen lots of foxes, many of them. Only ever one at a time. But yeah, they're all over the place here. But yeah, they're just nuisance. I love living here. The thing is, any of these animals, they're not ever going to be an issue unless you come between them and their babies, right? You don't want that. And if you think that's the case, turn around and go back the way you came. William Tucker, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Thank you. No question, just a thanks. I learn a lot. Awesome. I'm glad you do. I hope you all learn from these. That's why I do these. Think of these live streams as like an addendum to the videos I make. I know I've only been making 1 a week lately. I can't wait to get back to making 2 to 3 a week because that's what I enjoy doing. Making the course that I'm making takes a lot of time. And setting up the emails and the landing pages and all that stuff takes time. But, it is a business too. So I have to spend some time on that side of it. But once that's done, I'll be able to get back to making more videos because that's what I like doing. I like, there's lots I can talk about. I go outside with my phone and talk. Lots I can talk about. What else we got here? Here's a question. Wealth building blueprint. Hello, Rob. I do interviews with investing experts. I feel like algorithms get confused because I have different guests with different focus and outlooks. Any advice? Gold, Bitcoin, etc. Yeah. I guess my advice would be to try to get guests on your channel where the guests, like what they talk about, marries up well with what you talk about in your videos. Okay, like try to stay within the same topic, because you're right. If you bring a guest on and what they talk about is completely different to what you normally talk about, then yeah, I can see that being a bit of a problem, and you're not going to get a lot of people watching those videos from your existing subscriber base. But it could bring in new subscribers, I suppose. But yeah, I would just try, take a little bit of care in who you ask to come on, and don't just talk about their stuff, talk about your stuff too, right? So make it a two-way conversation, and then your existing subscribers might be more interested in that as well. All righty. What else we got? Always nice to watch your lives, Rob. Thank you for all you do. Got to go now. I'll catch you next week. Awesome. Thanks for stopping in. We'll see you next week. Doc party tomorrow. Yeah, so thanks for the reminder. So tomorrow, for those of you who are members of my channel, I go live for members only every second Wednesday. Tomorrow's the next one. So it's been 2 weeks, so tomorrow's the next one. Same thing as this. I'll be here live to take your questions. But like I think last week maybe we had 15 people, maybe it was 20. Usually we get around that many people instead of 140. So I get to answer all of your questions and multiple questions. Okay, so if that interests you, consider joining the channel. Link down below. All right. You know what? I was going to go right till 5 o'clock, which is 5 minutes from now. But I have to go now because nature calls. I have to go to the bathroom. I hope you don't mind. Guys, thank you very much for stopping in today. Any final questions here? It's Barb. I'm getting there. Awesome, Barb. Good to hear it. Our Cozy Mountain Life. Still trying to find my vibe. My Grandma Kitchen videos. Done the best. I need to focus. Yeah, focus. Pick one thing. Oh, now they're coming fast. Everyone's saying goodbye now. Yep. So, all right. So, filming my first video or storage and backup. Filming my first video. Looks like that might be the winner. Right here. 29%. 348 votes. Thank you, guys. All right. So, yeah, that's it. Thanks, guys, very much. I'll see you members tomorrow, same time. That's usually an hour to an hour and a half, not usually as long as these ones. This video you guys voted on, look for that Wednesday morning. That's tomorrow. All right, I got to make that tomorrow morning. I'm going to get up early and film it on the dock with the sun rising. How's that sound? So the sun is in my face, right? The golden hour, the morning golden hour. I'm going to try for that. How's that sound? Rebecca, storage and backup. Another vote for that. What is your starting time for live each Tuesday? Starting time is 2 o'clock my time, 2 p.m., 1 p.m. Eastern time. Rochelle's in the house. How you doing, Rochelle? Good to see you. See you, Andrew. Good to see you. Hand pink waving. Awesome, guys. All right, so that's it. I have a hard time saying goodbye. Aren't my goodbyes too long? I just got to say goodbye, don't I? Just goodbye. Anyway, thanks, guys. I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.